Hello. I'm early, guys. I mean, like 10 minutes early, but still. Hiya. I missed you yesterday. It was actually a holiday here, and that holiday is called Labor Day. And so I figured, in the spirit of, what all our ancestors really fought for, I was going to just take the day off. And so that's exactly what I did. And that was fun, but I'm glad to be back. And so, yeah, this stream, you may see by the title, I couldn't really think of what to write, and I genuinely did stub my toe today. So I was like, well, you know what? That's as good a title as any. And so here we are. And yes, it is very, very tragic. So hopefully you will all be able to commiserate with me because, there's nothing quite like stubbing one's toe, in my opinion. It's like such a small thing, but so painful. And I just, I sometimes can be a little bit clumsy. Definitely not the most clumsy person, but I will have the occasional bruise and bump just show up on my body. And I'm like, how did that get there? And so, this time I know exactly how it got there if I happen to have bruised toes when I look down. But no, I did not break it. It was just like, I don't know, I think I was like, tossing and turning. And then, just like when you're half asleep and you kind of just fling yourself about. That's what I did. And I was like, ouch, ouchie, and said some rude words that I won't repeat. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And Polydactyl, welcome in. I hope you're doing good. And so, for today, I'll show you guys my outfit as well, which is pretty cool, actually. Look at these sleeves. What the heck? It was a gift. So I feel kind of bad because I know I'm not really meant to be getting more clothes during this outfit challenge, but I did not buy it. And I did not really seek it out. It was kind of just, literally handed to me on like a silver platter and from a family friend. So who am I to refuse? And also I just love the colors. So I'll show you guys properly in a sec, but yes, the outfit challenge continues and the clothes back there also remain. And so anyway, still alive. Yes, that's, sometimes that's all you can really ask for. I feel as though, a W is a W, no matter what form it takes. And if that means you got out of bed this morning, if that means you went and brushed your teeth, if you went to work, made a living, all of that stuff absolutely counts. And so, still alive. Though don't get me started, I'll start singing the Portal 2 song. It's Portal 2 or Portal 1? But yeah, and honestly, same, still alive. So, 70s vibe. Yeah, I get that actually. Thank you kindly. I was going to say that I really like big, bold colors, and I used to wear mostly, oh, Elvis scared me. Cody, thank you so much for subscribing. Wow, straight off the bat, I will put away a piece of clothing for you, my friend. And I can't believe that scared me. You'd think after so long of hearing it, that I'd be used to it, but no. I hope you're well, Cody. And so the fit is very, very in your face, very loud, I guess. But I'm kind of starting to like it, as in those big, bold colors and going against the grain of, I guess, typical Victorian fashion, not like old English Victorian. I mean, Victoria, Australia, the state, because we're kind of known for wearing all black. So I'm trying to, break the mold at least a little bit. Though I will say I do love my all black outfits and all white outfits. So I like a bit of everything, to be honest. I'm glad you're well, Cody. And so I guess this is as good a time as any to show you guys. Now, the top is loud, but the pants are just kind of understated. But you can see here it's got like this, frilly part, which is really cute. And then these big flowy sleeves. And then pockets, guys. How crazy is that? Actual pockets. It's amazing. And now, I'm going to be honest, with this top, I don't think this is actually the right way to wear it. it looks a little bit, I don't know what the word is, but like almost crowded up here. But I think the real way to wear it is off the shoulder. But, you know, I feel like it will just keep sliding up if I do that. As nice as it looks in a still image, right? And you can kind of hide the bra straps if you do like, you know, some clever little adjusting. But I can't be bothered, guys, because I know I'm just going to be touching it the whole time. And then I'll annoy myself and I'll annoy everyone else. And so we're just going to look a little bit square today. I hope that's fine. But yeah, I like the frilly lettuce trim, I think it's called. And this was actually my family friend who gave this to me. She told me it was actually from Africa, from a friend that gave it to her. And so, yeah, I feel like this has been passed through a couple of people and I'm very glad to be the recipient. And yeah, I mean, you know, the outfit challenge seems to just be attracting more and more clothing. So I'm not quite sure where we'll end up. But for now, you know, it's a nice piece. And so maybe for every piece of clothing that I receive, I should like directly one-to-one donate another. We'll see. But let me put something away. There's a lot to choose from back there, so I don't even know. I'll just grab something. Let's see. This was the vampire top that I wore. Is this the right way? Yeah. It's inside out, of course. Chatterbot, welcome in. Slay Queen. You slay. How are you doing? Are you well? We're just getting started here, and for every subscriber, I have pledged to clean my room bit by bit. So that's what we're doing. Let's see. Hangers. I really do like this shirt. I know it's very vampiric, but I think that's cool. So there we go. And thank you again, Cody. I appreciate it. So yeah, how you guys doing? I hope none of you have stubbed your toes, because yeah, it's not fun. And yeah, I was actually considering like, well, because I do have a party on this Saturday. And so if I stream today, then that means I think by the end of the week, I'll have scheduled to stream on Saturday too, but probably won't be able to make it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm either going to have a double up stream, so as in like 2 days in a row, or we'll figure something out so that, yeah, I don't miss more than 1 day, like scheduled per week. But I'm so glad to be here. And also, yeah, I can't stay away for too long. You guys know that, right? You know, like now that I've come back for real from my brief, in quotation marks, hiatus, yeah, I got the taste for it back, like the vampiric taste for blood, but it's the streamer's taste for streaming. So, yeah, and even if I don't really have that much to talk about, like from stream to stream, there's something really comforting about just seeing familiar faces or familiar names and just seeing where we end up as well. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, I don't plan to go somewhere with a particular like conversational thread. And then all of a sudden it's just kind of like, well, how did we get here? How are we talking about, I don't even know, 19th century fucking plumbing, you know? It's just like it's a bit of a mystery every time, and I really like that. So yeah, lots of kind of, you know, people causing trouble out and about today. It's all good, guys, you know, I'll take care of it. But yeah, what else? Oh, I was going to say, oh, the party does have a theme. It's not as full on as the last party I went to. It's actually a pirate theme. And I have a pirate outfit, which you guys have seen once, maybe twice. And I was considering wearing it on stream, but then I realized that I may have worn it already during this challenge. I will have to check my records. But if not, then yeah, sure, I'll wear it for you guys. And you'll see exactly how I'm going to look for this pirate party on Saturday. It's for a friend's birthday. I don't know why, but for some reason, everyone in my friend group this year is just having a themed birthday party. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm down for that. And I don't know, my birthday's all the way in December, so hopefully by the end of the year, not all the themes have been taken up already. And so yes, very much showing off the pirate booty. I have a beautiful piratess kind of like, corset, like faux corset style dress. And I've got the fishnets. What else do I have? I really want an eye patch. I know it's kind of like, it's a stereotype, but it's fun, And that costume I actually have had since high school because we used to do every year like an athletics day or a swimming day. And at these events, usually people would dress up just for the fun of it, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to get a pirate costume, see what happens. I probably won't use it more than once, but I swear I've worn it so many times since then. It's actually like, an investment that has paid off because I wore it at the, swimming carnival. And then I also wore it at like other random like Halloween parties and random costume parties. And now even years later, since 2015, it still fits, thankfully. And so, yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that. The only issue will be, can I find it? Because I know it's in here somewhere. But yeah, it's a little bit like a needle in a haystack at this point. So hopefully I'll be able to find it. Maybe if I start looking from today, I'll find it by Saturday. We'll see how we go. And so, yeah, I'm very excited. I still have not bought my friend a present yet. She's a relatively new friend, beautiful girl. She's from a philosophy club. And so I've kind of gotten to know her over the course of like a year roughly. And yeah, I think she's super cool. She makes her own clothes. She's funny and silly. And I'll have to think of something hopefully that she'll like. So I'm not sure. But, I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, maybe I'll be like, the other kind of pirate. That's a good idea, actually. I mean, sailing the high seas. That's something I've talked about before, guys, in my attitude towards that kind of thing. But I can't talk too much about it on Twitch because they don't approve. But if you know, type beat. And yeah, I'm excited to, like, I don't know, just see all my friends again. I see them often, but even in between, I get like sad because I miss them. The same way I feel about you guys. And so, yeah, I can't wait to see everyone else dressed up like pirates too, because similar to my cowboy thing, I definitely have a soft spot, shall we say, for the pirate aesthetic too. I know, like, it's probably a diversion from how it actually was historically, but they're just so sexy. You know what I mean? They're just so like, I don't know, a little bit dangerous, a bit edgy, a little bit rough around the edges. And yeah, I like that. I don't know. Possibly just for the fantasy element, and in real life it would be terrifying and probably unhygienic. But yeah, in the mind, I guess it's like front of a romance novel type beat. So yeah. I'll keep you guys in the loop. If I have any pics, I'll send them through. But it's literally, you guys probably saw it last time. I even wore the same outfit to PAX, I think it was. One of the events, right? And I got to meet some of my streamer friends that I had only ever talked to online. And that was really fun. We went to the convention and then afterwards, like, kind of went bar hopping and stuff like that. And it was really awesome. I will say though, and I even mentioned it back then, like, I understand what bars are for and I respect what they do and their relevance to like social interactions, but they're just not my preference to hang around in. Like, not only because I don't drink, the main reason is because like I can't hear a single fucking word that anyone is saying. Like in clubs and bars and shit, like I literally cannot hear what people are saying. And it's hard because unless you're literally like staying next to them and they're whispering into your ear, which, is usually fine in a more intimate exchange. But if you're in a group, like what I was, you either have to like shout like really loudly, like, hey, I think this place is so cool. Or like just kind of smile and nod like you understood what they said. And so, yes, for drinking and dancing is absolutely right. And I think that's cool if people want to do that. But when it comes to just like getting to know people and stuff, please don't take me to a bar or a club. Like, I would much prefer a quiet little cafe or something like that, even a fucking late night library or something, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to have to raise my voice, not just because, like, you know, it's uncomfortable, but like I physically can't really. Like, I've tried and it gets about as like this loud that you're hearing right now. And so I don't want to put anyone through that whole rigmarole of being like, what? What did you say? What? You know what I mean? Like, no, I just want to have a normal level conversation if possible. In fact, in real life, like just talking one-on-one with people, I tend to be quieter by design because, like, I don't need to assert myself that much. You know what I mean? I think the words and the presence and, well, the aura, of course, does it all for me, you know? Like, I don't need to be, like, speaking the loudest or being the center of attention, so to speak, to get my point across, you know? And so bars are kind of antithetical to that. And I find it like minus aura if I have to be shouting across to, you know, describe something utterly mundane to someone. So anyway, that's just a personal hang up, literally so neurotic and idiosyncratic. But yeah, so I wore a pirate outfit way back then and I actually really enjoyed myself, you know, despite the yelling. The having to yell, I suppose. But anyway, the next party after that, I'm pretty sure will have a totally different theme. But yeah, gosh, it's very funny. And I'm glad that actually I have and I am building up this repertoire of costumes because now no matter what anyone springs on me, like, hey, Emmy, we're doing like a jester themed birthday party, I'll be like, you know what's crazy? I already have something lined up. It's one of the lesser known perks of being a streamer in that sense. You can just, like, you know, silently and potentially legitimately justify it to yourself, to, like, yeah, to go out and find all these wacky random costumes and not feel too guilty when I snatch them all up and take them home. So yeah, the only thing I don't have is a hook hand. That's something I was considering. I've seen them at like party stores and costume shops. But I was like, do I go this hard on the pirate theme? Because, like, I want both my hands available, you know? So I'll leave the Captain Hook vibe to someone else. I have no doubt someone will actually rock up like that. But that's very funny. And so, yeah, I might need to bring like a a small chest of gold or something like that and make a bunch of pirate innuendo. We'll have to see. I literally don't even know where this is. It might be at my friend's house or it might be at like a function place. But yeah, speaking of functions, I also have been invited to an engagement party. And so that will be interesting because I haven't really been to them before. I know that, well, I kind of know what they're all about, right? Celebrating the beautiful, I guess, pre-matrimony of two people that love each other very much. But when it comes to the dress code, which is, it was said cocktail, it's like, okay, cocktail. That will be interesting because, like, I don't know, there are specific rules for each dress code level and I just want to make sure I get it right. So yeah, that's a few months down the track, but I'm very honored to be invited and yeah, hopefully I can look the part, you know, not stand out one way or another, too casual or too formal. So yeah, writing off wacky costumes as a business expense, that's literally the best part. It's like, you know, where else other than maybe like actual, you know, mainstream TV and movies do you get to do such a thing? Like, it's such a pleasure and a privilege. So, yeah, I think I'll keep it really simple for the engagement party. Just a nice dress, not too flashy, not like this, not this bold, not this bright, and yeah, something like long and hopefully elegant, I'm not going to buy anything because, like I said, this outfit challenge is to stop myself from getting more clothes. I'm just going to look through all of my rations and see how we go. So, but yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. And yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed the last stream with Green Man. Some of the clips from that stream have been cracking me TF up. And I was actually so surprised and impressed because C Locket had already made a video basically by the end of the stream. And I was just like, how is he so quick? And I literally like sent it to all my friends and stuff because I just found it so funny. It's where we're like harmonizing the Lord of the Rings song. And yeah, oh my gosh. I know we got kind of hectic in that stream, but hopefully it was fun for you guys. As fun as it was for me, because I was freaking losing it. So, yeah. Yeah, C Locket does not miss a beat. It's true, it's true. And I don't know, like, I don't know how he does it, but I'm very grateful because, you know, he does all that stuff just for the love of the game, I should say. And, you know, one day it's my dream to be able to actually give back to you guys for being so generous and, you know, for sticking around when you really could be anywhere. And, you know, that's kind of one of my long-term goals. I hope I can make it happen because, you know, like I've said, I already have so much stuff in general. I'm quite content and I have a roof over my head. Like, these things are not to be taken lightly. So in terms of like this channel expanding potentially and getting bigger, yeah, I'll just write all of Twitch chat a big novelty check. And yeah, specifically, you know, people like C Locket who have done so much work just completely out of their own, you know, generosity and their own hearts. Like, I feel like I would really like to do something special in the future. But yeah, until then, I'm just going to keep showing up and hoping that I can, you know, do your viewership justice, which is, yeah, kind of crazy because all I really do is sit here and talk about random shit. So one big novelty check. Honestly, my mom could probably print something like that because, you know, that's her whole shtick. She's a graphic designer. She kind of did that stuff while she was still working. She's retired now. But yeah, let's put a pin in that for another time. Yeah, I hope you guys have some good food to eat, some nice drinks to drink. I've got my water here, and Jazz Jeff, welcome in, and a Booty Bandit, welcome in. I feel like today is going to be pretty casual. I was considering playing some games, but then I thought, you know what? Nah, I just want to chat with my homies. I feel like that's all I actually ever want to do. And I love you too, Polydactyl. Like, seriously, you guys are some of the coolest cats on the internet, and I don't say that lightly. I feel as if, yeah, it's a very peaceful place to be, and it's kind of rare, in my opinion. So, yeah, I feel like, you know, this little corner of Twitch, and this channel in particular, is a beautiful mix of, like, I guess, creativity and exploring ideas and topics, as well as a bit of cheeky banter and stuff like that. And, you know, with the knowledge that sometimes you may say something that you end up changing your mind about, or that turns out to not be the full picture, and to be able to learn from that instead of feeling like, oh shit, I'm literally the worst person ever, you know? Like, that is a blessing to be able to learn and evolve within a gracious environment. That's like really important to me. So Mumbo Chumbo, welcome in. I just, yeah, I'm very grateful. So, you know, most mornings, if I remember it, and I think I'm pretty good at this, I wake up and just feel like a wave, I suppose, of gratitude. Because, like, you know, this is kind of a niche, like, I don't want to say job, that's not really the right word. a niche space to be in. And although a lot of people try and set out to do something like this, it's kind of a mix of like luck and yeah, sometimes just circumstance, being in the right place at the right time. So I feel as if I should never take it for granted, you know what I mean? So yeah, I wake up every day and I feel very grateful. And yeah, you know, I be yapping is true. But that's literally the channel. And so I don't really know what else to say. But yeah, goodness me. I feel like maybe this whole thing should just be like a TED talk, but like an Emmy talk. What would that be called? E-talk? That sounds a bit, how's your father? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I, again, pinch myself a little bit because I'm like, well, people decide to stop by and just listen to me ramble about random things. That's crazy and very gratifying. So Cherry Chats is very cute. I like that. And yeah, just like, you know, the fact that you guys have been here, some of you from the very beginning, is like crazy, because like where I was back then is so different to where I am now. And the transition, you know, over time doesn't seem that stark. But if you take it as like discrete events before and now, it's just like, holy fuck, that's crazy. It's like a totally different person. And I credit you guys for a lot of that, you know, being more open and like hopefully more articulate. I mean, I can't be much less than when I started. And also pushing through some of those feelings of like, oh God, I don't know what to say. I'm going to clam up and just not say anything. Because there's something about streaming that just kind of makes you feel like, you know, no dead air, just have to keep plowing through. And that actually ends up being a helpful practice, as terrifying as it can be, to just learning how to surrender oneself maybe a bit more to intuition and trying out random bits. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. To me, that's way better than never trying at all, which was my problem before I ever started streaming. My anxiety got really, really bad to the point where I couldn't really talk at all in certain contexts. And yeah, like when I say couldn't, I mean like physically my throat felt like it was closing in. And so to go from that to, you know, yapping online for people is a very big change, and is why I say that, you know, if I can do that, then you guys can do absolutely anything. But before I get too in my feels, maybe it's a good time for me to ask one of my favorite questions, which is, how would you describe your mood in one word or less? For me, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of warm. It's warm in here. And I don't know how much longer I can stand not turning on the fan. I just don't like how it, like it gets picked up on the mic, but I'm just staring at it right now like, you know, what should I do? And you know what? I'm just gonna do that. How easy is that, guys? Yeah, I mean, we'll see. If I start actually beading with sweat, then maybe I'll turn it on. But for now, I'm okay. I'm just gonna be like shiny. Oh my, I need my fainting couch. Oh, Phantom, it's been a while. I hope you're well. Cody, you're feeling chill? That's good. Literally in stark opposite to how I'm feeling right now, warm and sweaty, or perspiring, I think is the better word. More elegant. I feel, yeah, like it's weird. We're not even in summer anymore, and yet, I don't know, the weather does what it wants here. Like literally 5 seasons in one day, where the 5th season is just fuck you. Polydactyl, your mood, satisfied and encouraged. Okay, I like it. I like it. Encouraged in which direction? Is this something that you're endeavoring to do, or like a project that you're working on? Tell me more. And Phantom, yearning per usual is funny, and I also, as a fellow yearner, TM, I totally relate. So it's good to see you. It's been a while. And yeah. What else? I mean, I've been actually getting back into music stuff recently. I know I said I had a big kind of break from it, or I wasn't feeling that inspired. But I'm slowly finding that kind of vibe again. And singing in particular, I don't think I'll ever stop singing. But in terms of like actually putting together lyrics and then a melody and then some chords and stuff like that, yeah, I'm starting to get back into that groove, pun intended. And maybe, hopefully, soon the Club Cherry YouTube channel, I'll have something more for it. But we'll see. Obi, welcome in. And the first, it's always funny when like the stream's been going on for like 3 hours and then someone redeems first. It's like, oh shit. Nothing counted up until right now. So welcome in. I hope you're doing good. How would you describe your mood in one word or less? Polydactyl says, a video I just uploaded yesterday after delaying it for months has 800 views. That's so good. 600 in the first 24 hours. You should be feeling encouraged. That's wonderful. Like, seriously, I know how tough it is for like, you know, for channels to like kind of get started, especially if they're relatively small, right? Though I don't mean to presume. And so that's nothing to sneeze at. Well done. I feel as if, like for me, the sharing is really the main pleasure, and then afterwards anything extra is just a bonus. But of course, like it's the bigger bonus is something to be very proud of. So if I may ask, what kind of video? Am I allowed to ask that? I don't know. But yeah, I'm very, very proud. So yeah, it's motivating actually. I feel like, yeah, sharing one's work with the world, whatever medium it is in, is something quite marvelous in my opinion, because you're taking what kind of, you know, was nothing, an idea, something intangible, and you've turned it into something that other people can not only look at and like, you know, kind of ingest, but also experience. And that's like literally alchemy in my opinion. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that some of that stuff, or the platforms that host a lot of that stuff, have incentivized this or that and kind of changes people's natural inclinations regarding what they might typically make or feel inspired by. But, you know, we work with what we can. And I guess, at least for me, when it comes to those little acts of rebellion, like I just decided pretty early on that I wasn't going to do the whole fucking, you know, at least not on my art related channels. I wasn't going to do the whole, oh, please like and subscribe and the retention and stuff like that. It's like, oh, if I learned that if I do this, then the retention goes up by 1%. It's like, just fuck my life. You know what I mean? I understand that people have to do that to play the game. Like, it's because they've been given basically no other choice. And so on my actual like main channel, which I haven't really used in ages, I'd probably be more open to that sort of style. But on my art related stuff, fuck no, you know? Yeah, smash that like button. Did you know 80% of the people that watch my videos are unsubscribed? And it's like, I get it, I do. And this isn't begrudging any one person or creator or whatever. It's mostly begrudging the system that kind of forces people into that borderline groveling position, where it's just like, I don't know. Bill Wirtz, who is like the one of my inspirations and muses, he talked about that feeling of, you know, receiving art as an experience. And he creates his art in a very particular way, where it's kind of like, you know, watching an ad for fucking, I don't know, google.com right before it ruins the experience of the art that follows, because he's trying to set a particular mood and tone and environment, and to have that be intercepted by some loud, blaring, like kind of, you know, purposefully, psychologically manipulative and garish like advertisement. Like it colors the rest of what you experience in a, at least in his eyes, I'm imagining, a negative way. And so for the longest time, despite his channel and his videos being extremely popular, like 100 million views type beat popular, he refused to put any ads on his channel. And I really admired him for that, and I still do. He eventually had to put them on because he was kind of forced to be honest. I think it was a mixture of people asking him, why don't you have ads on your channel? You totally should. And also, I think he either got asked by YouTube, or YouTube just started doing it anyway because they wanted a piece of that pie. Like, he was making hundreds of millions of views per video. They were missing out on revenue with him deciding not to put any ads on. And so they were just like, we're going to put ads on your video whether you like it or not, so you might as well take whatever is your due. And he was like, fine. And so, yeah, it's the same with Twitch as well. You're right, Mumbo. Like, with this setup, I have put on the most minimal amount of ads that I can, because they force you to choose. And like within an hour, it's like, I think at least 3 minutes. At most, I think up to like, I don't even know, like maybe 10 minutes. Don't quote me on that. And so the 3-minute minimum actually allows you to also have no pre-roll ads, which is kind of good, because there's nothing worse than, like, imagine you're channel surfing on your TV, and before you even can see if the show that you're flicking onto is actually good, you have to watch an ad. It's like, that does not make sense. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I've always, kind of disliked that approach. And if it were up to me, I would have ads off completely. And it didn't matter if I was like the biggest channel in the world. They're just fucking annoying. And, you know, at that point, if you are the biggest channel in the world, you don't even need it, right? I'm sure you have enough sponsors and, you know, money from other streams to, like, pun intended, to not have to have annoying ass gambling ads or whatever the fuck that's on your channel. It's like, yeah. Anyway, you guys know how I feel. So, it is what it is. It's the current landscape for a reason, because these things have velocity. When I say these things, I mean like the nature of platforms online, and especially ones where people can make money, you know, like it gets slowly kind of corporatized, and because of that, stricter rules and regulations and ad-friendly mindedness becomes more of a concern than the actual content itself. Like, do you think YouTube gives a fuck about what content is getting uploaded to it? No. Like, as long as it's family friendly enough to put ads on, like, that's fine. Upload whatever. And that's why, you know, most people recognize that it's less about quality and more about just, you know, staying relevant. So quantity. Not everyone. And yeah, it's a cynical perspective, but it's only because that's what the architecture of the website and like a lot of other social media platforms are encouraging people to do. Like, they want you to prioritize quantity over quality. And so it's by design. When we see the kind of, you know, it's a very topical term right now, the enshittification of things, like, that is by design, you know? And so Polydactyl is quite funny, and honestly, I have so much respect for content that isn't family friendly. Like, I feel as though to make something knowing that you might actually be penalized for it, like, and still doing it because it's like the truth or what you want to share or what your interest is or whatever, like, you know, as long as it's not harming anyone, like, to me, that is aura. Because, like, I don't know, it just feels like you're putting your money where your mouth is, literally. And it's hard. Like, it's so hard to not acquiesce, right? Like, I feel as if there is a pull and a draw to kind of following the herd and doing what everyone else does because it's tried and true and it's tested. And, like, you know, you want to not only fit in, but also potentially see some of the success that you know is out there and you know could apply to you, right? But yeah, like, going for the less beaten path, I think is admirable in my eyes. And I've said this before in a million different ways, but, like, to me, the absolute worst thing that a person could be, And when I say worst, I don't mean like they're a bad person. I mean, it's worst for them, for their own self-conception and understanding of their own psyche and how they move through the world. The absolute worst thing is to dim your own light in service of a perceived palatability, like society-wide. And it's heartbreaking as well, because people don't do it thinking, oh, yeah, this will be horrible for me. They do it because they want to fit in. Like, they do it out of, not noble, but like well-intentioned reasons, you know? And I see it all the time. Like, literally, I still am fighting or like working through these things as well. So I'm also part of the, you know, the work in progress, right? But it's like people have specific things that they're passionate about, specific things that they love, that they go crazy for, their whole face lights up, and it's just like amazing to watch, right? And in an instant, sometimes you'll just see that they have to shut it all down or switch it off or shove it into a box because they feel as if, for whatever reason, that it's not acceptable, or like people will think they're weird or lame, or they won't have an audience, or whatever it is, right? And the outcome is tragic. Speaking of tragic Tuesdays, you know, this is arguably way more important than a stubbed toe. And like, I just feel like I'm so tired of doing that, whether it's conscious or subconscious. I don't want to be anything less than who I am. And so it's easier said than done. I recognize that. But when it comes to certain like external factors, like I understand a lot of the time people will try to put you into a specific box. They will try to label you. They will try to understand you in a way that suits them, if that makes sense. And so the desire to acquiesce is strong. That social feeling of being like, you know what, I'm accepted by people. Like, that is a very strong feeling, right? But ultimately, I think the only way to like fully become yourself is to set your own rules for, you know, what makes you you, unapologetically, no matter how weird, how nerdy, how seemingly lame, and just go for it, you know? Like, to me, it's the only way, literally the only way. And what it creates, at least in my eyes, and this is ill-articulated, but bear with me, it creates flow, a flow state, similar to creative flow, but like just personhood flow. Now, whether you want to call that like actualization or whatever it is, you can get more or less woo or spiritual with it. To me, it's a sense of relief, like, oh yes, this is the right way forward, because it feels like I was always meant to be moving in this way in the first place, as opposed to stopping and starting or going a different way because someone told me to, or someone decided what was best for me and I just was too scared to say anything otherwise. Instead of resistance, you feel relief, and that's a really helpful indicator, at least for me. And so I should also say, all of this stuff, when we talk about, you know, becoming a new version of yourself, there's always a caveat, right? Which is some of the things we talk about in terms of emotional and intuition-based knowledge only really applies within a, you know, already well enough regulated nervous system, right? If you have diagnosed disorders in any category, it's harder to know exactly how much of the feeling, whatever it may be, that you should honor versus, you know, potentially get investigated into further. But when I speak about these more general terms, I mean, if you already have most of your shit figured out, and thank you so much, that's extremely generous of you. Thank you. Is it Takuru? I appreciate that. Then, you know, if you already have a relatively well operating nervous system, then going forward into relief and opposing resistance, I think, is a good kind of place to start. and following one's intuition, etc., etc. If you have, severe anxiety, maybe not, because there's still other stuff that needs to be done or worked on first. But I don't think it's impossible, and certainly not inaccessible to anyone. I just think it's a matter of order of operations and prioritizing what needs to be done first. I used to have terrible, terrible anxiety, and I still do get flashes of it. It comes in kind of bursts or spikes, right? But it's the kind of anxiety that at this point feels manageable and not debilitating. And so if I ever do feel nervous, I can understand it as something worth honoring and not worth, like, I don't know, kind of falling apart over, if that makes sense. But anyway, this stuff I wish I could explain more clearly and cleanly. I just need to sit with it for a bit longer. And that's kind of another reason why streaming is so helpful to me, because over time these ideas get refined with every repetition. Sorry to some of the OGs who have heard these ideas before. But it's like eventually, instead of kind of walking around a point, I get to what I call the locus, which is the center, the main idea. And really, from what I've found at least, the best way to get to that most refined, hopefully clear point is through just repetition. So, perfect practice makes perfect type beat. And for someone like me, if I'm not going to be reading from notes, it takes me usually a longer time than most people to really like absorb an idea. But once it's in there, it's in there. Like, it's hard to explain. Some people pick things up quickly and also forget them quickly. I'm more of the type of person who will need like a lot of extra time. But eventually, when something is actually fully clicked, it's like, well, that's in the vault now, hopefully. And I try my best to also explore an idea from lots of different sides, kind of a prismatic approach, because, I can't help it at this point. It's something that I think is important, to see a thing, if possible, from many different angles. So I'm glad it sounds clear to you, Cody. I appreciate that. And yeah, so who knows, maybe eventually by 2050, right, I'll be the most the most eloquent, with all the same talking points that have been refined to a razor's edge. But yeah, a prismatic approach. Thank you so much for asking. So a prism is like, have you ever seen that science experiment where you have like a kind of a block of, I think it's plastic or something, that you reflect some light into, and it comes out as a rainbow on the other side? I can show you a picture. A prism splitter or something, whatever it's called. When I use that word prismatic, I mean like, here we go. I'll show you. I mean looking at a thing from multiple different layers or angles, because, the more you investigate it, I think more often than not, you will find new and interesting things for the investigation and its thoroughness. So like, let me think of an example. Well, obviously poetry is the one that comes firstly to mind, but not everyone is interested in poetry, and that's fair. So even something like interpersonal relationships and stuff like that. Yes, like the dark side of the moon, that's right. And so in any relationship, we have our arguments, or we have like our little, our moments. And instead of kind of painting some incident as entirely black or white, to see how much, I guess, I don't want to use the term empathy because I know how loaded that is, but just to see how many different sides you can hold with grace, and like not go so quick to judging, because you might be surprised by what you find with a more thorough investigation. you might see more colors revealed than what once seemed obvious. And so I try to apply that kind of approach to multiple areas of life if I can. It's not always possible. Sometimes someone does something and it's pretty clear cut what it means and, what the outcome should be. But other times, in the gray areas of life, which I think is a lot of them, it's a way to kind of treat others how you might wish to be treated, like to take people not only in good faith, but also like exercise forgiveness where necessary. Not always, if it's earned, I think. It's not automatic, but thank you for the follow, by the way. Those moments in life where, we have a path to choose, whether that is kind of, I don't know, I need 2 words to most accurately describe this. The path where you can burn bridges and close yourself off, or potentially, despite how hard it is, to kind of open one's heart to whatever situation it may be. Now, I know that's vague as fuck, but you know what I mean. Like the option between opening and closing one's own mind and heart. To me, I try to do the open-minded one if I can. Though again, it's not always possible. Sometimes someone just does something and you're like, well, that was horrible. See you later. Other times it's more complicated than that. And life situations kind of make things a bit more blurry. Wrongdoings from the kind of pettiest transgression all the way to the very most transgressive. It's like it's up to an individual to kind of decide for themselves how they want to forgive or forget or not at all. But to be informed from as many sides as possible seems like a good place to start. Because at the very least, whatever decision you make will be well educated. And so that's all I ever encourage. I try not to tell people what to think, but more how to think. As in, like, the processes and metastructures of how to do the actual thinking that will get you to your answer. And you can even get more meta than that, but that's where we get way too complicated, and I probably need to write it down first so I could actually articulate it well enough to explain. But yeah, hopefully that makes even some amount of sense. Let's come back here. And so, yeah. Very random, but you are a good speaker. Little ums or ahs. Thank you. I do love a good and ah, but I think after streaming for so long, it becomes like a just forceful continuation. It's like just push on through and you'll find whatever it is you're trying to say halfway down the track. So thank you. That is it's a nice thing to say. And Mr. Master, yes, it's been a hot minute. Hello. Yes, flexibility. That's a great word to describe it. Like flexibility, but without an agenda, like to just be truly open to having your mind be changed, potentially, to having your heart be swayed. Because sometimes people will say that they're open-minded, but really it's only if that whatever they're hearing like fits their open-minded perspective, you know what I mean? And that's not really open-minded then. So that idea of gracefulness and compassion for others, like these things are not too difficult to develop, and it's not hopeless if those areas, like one may feel, need to be kind of re-upped, if you know what I mean. But they do a lot of heavy lifting and have helped me, at least when it comes to many different areas of life, to move forward with grace and compassion. So teaching them to fish rather than giving them a fish type beat. That's exactly right. And I like to say as often as I can that I'm not a professional or licensed anything, right? I don't have a degree in anything except poetry, and so I can't really give prescriptive advice, nor would I want to. I just share some thoughts every now and then about stuff that I've experienced or stuff that I've thought about and philosophized over and agonized over. And it's one of those things where I only ever hope that people take what is helpful to them and applies to them, kind of discards the rest, you know, because I don't imagine that all of it will be applicable. But sometimes, you know, like diamonds in the rough, you can find something, like pick it out and be like, oh, I'm going to take that with me, and hopefully move through your day with some added whatever it may be, gentleness or happiness or something. So, but yeah. Poetry and philosophy connected? I think absolutely. Like, almost like, you know, like this, right? It depends on, you know, your own definitions of either one of those things, which is a very philosophical answer. But there's a lot of overlap between a bunch of different disciplines that you might not even expect. Like, I do think there's also a lot of overlap between, like, poetry, let's say, and, like, STEM or, like, logic-based subjects or disciplines, and philosophy and, you know, music. Like, all these things can be connected. You can make the case for it. And something that I learned in school, especially in my English language classes, was like, the most important thing when it comes to making an argument isn't necessarily about the correctness of the argument, because, like, what is correctness in a lot of those feelings-based or, like, emotional-based arguments? It's, like, sometimes kind of irrelevant, right? The more important thing is about how compelling you are. And so you could argue that the moon is related to your ear. Like, and the only thing that will really matter in these instances is how well you can make your own argument. And very switched on minds, I don't think I can claim to be in this group, but switched on minds can make the case for almost anything. And those are the slick talkers that could probably, you know, talk you into buying anything or seeing anything from their perspective. So it's a double-edged sword, because it's like, it's a cool skill to have, to be sure, but also it can lend almost a touch or an air of, like, not insincerity, but when someone's too charming and too slick, you almost think like, okay, well, what's going on here, you know? And yeah, tuberculosis, forgive me, that's actually a great point. Everything is vaguely related to tuberculosis. That is my trigger word. For some reason, I can't say that word. Was it John Green's book, or Hank Green, one of the Green brothers? You're absolutely right. And so I think in what English classes call close reading, which is to take two texts, whatever they are, and try and find the patterns between them. Like, humans in general are pretty good at pattern recognition, I would say. And you can make pretty crazy out there claims if you know how to pull on some threads and kind of go unexpected places. And so, John Green, thank you so much. And welcome in, by the way. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce tuberculosis. I have to keep practicing it. But yeah, it's like, you know, I don't really know what the point of all this is now that I'm saying it, but all this is to say that I think moving through the world with grace and gentleness and open-mindedness is a net positive, right? Of course, everything in moderation. And sometimes I worry that when I say these things, people take it to its most extreme, right? Like, if I say, oh, you know, it's good to have gentleness in your heart, someone might take it to mean like, oh, so you're saying that you should let someone walk all over you, and if they, like, slap you in the face, to turn the other cheek. And it's like, well, that's not what I'm saying. It's more just like a general statement that you can apply however far you think is necessary in your own life. And so no one's really done that here, but it's just something that is emblematic of the internet. It's that whole meme where it's just like someone says on Twitter, I like pancakes, and then the next person says, oh, so that means you hate waffles? And it's like, bro, that's a whole new sentence. And so anyway, yeah, I think that you guys really embody those traits of moving through the world with gentleness and forgiveness and open-mindedness. And that's a lot of the reason why I like being here so much. If I felt like I was being judged, or like what I was saying was not being taken in good faith, then I would not want to show up here as much as I do. Like, I would feel more scared to say anything at all, because I was already anticipating some kind of pushback or like unfair characterization. That's something that really annoys me, actually. I don't know why. It seems like it should not trigger me as much as it does. But whenever like someone purposefully or not, like takes something that I say and twists it into its most uncharitable version, to me, that's literally so triggering. I don't even know why, because it's like, sure, like they're just doing whatever. Maybe it's someone trolling, or maybe it's just someone, you know, like having their own fun at my expense. But it's like, it's worse to me than if someone literally, I don't know, slapped me, because it's just like, I go so far out of my way to, I don't know what the word is, to show my own good faith in myself and others when it's not reciprocated, or when it's just like purposefully taken away. It feels like a bit like, whoa, okay, it's kind of sus. But anyway, I hope that makes sense. And again, it never happens here. It's just like the rare occasion where I'll say something, and sometimes like even as a joke, someone like that I meet maybe for the first time will joke about it in a uncharitable way, and I'll be like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's how I can usually tell that we're not really going to be that compatible as friends. But you know, you can't win them all. So as for my favorite philosopher, I have quite a few philosophers that I like. I'm in a philosophy club, believe it or not. I don't know if this one counts, because like he was more like a writer, but he was part of a philosophical movement, Oscar Wilde. He's one of my favorite writers, and he was part of the Decadent movement, which kind of, you know, has some controversial views. I don't agree with all of them, but in one sense, they're very entertaining and interesting to me, even if I wouldn't fully live by each and every one of their kind of claims, such as, you know, aesthetics over ethics, and like the only way to resist temptation is to yield to it, and stuff like that, and just hedonism as a lifestyle. Like, that stuff is very funny, and it makes sense for the historical context, less sense in our modern day. But there's a lot of beautiful work, art, literature, etc., that came out of that time that I really, really enjoy. And his aphorisms, like his little witty one-liners, I feel like everyone's heard maybe one or two in their lives. And it's just funny. Like, he had such an interesting mind that could so piercingly cut through all the bullshit of like modern, by his standards, society, and get to the heart of what everyone else was just kind of faffing around, you know? And as for how philosophers make money, that is a very good question. I think back in the very ancient times, and please take this with a grain of salt because I'm not fully sure, like ancient Greece type beat, there were certain people, certain philosophers that were literally, their whole job was to just sit around and think. They were sponsored by wealthy individuals because these wealthy individuals like valued the philosophers' thoughts so much, and like their insight, right? Nowadays, we have kind of a modern version of that. Like when it comes to Patreon and stuff like that, literally it's in the name. To be a patron of someone is to like fund their continued existence and their lifestyle as it is. And so I think over time, the prestige surrounding philosophers and artists kind of waned. And, you know, more of a focus on utility and agriculture and stuff like that was the focus, like a new focus, right? And it's hard to say, like, I understand why. I do wish the arts were more highly valued in these days. But it's different now. It's different. It's a very, like, it's an unprecedented time, and I know everyone fucking hates that word from the COVID era, but, you know, it's like I don't think anyone could have predicted the internet, and even further on than that, like AI and what that would do to, like, commerce and art and connection, right? Who could have predicted that? Oscar Wilde, I don't know if he could have, maybe, he probably could have, but anyway, it means that the way that we consume things has changed. The way that we interact with things has changed. The speed with which we devour media like is literally lightning fast. And it's why, like we were saying before, people feel the need to be constantly posting, be constantly making stuff, be constantly sharing stuff, because otherwise you fall into irrelevancy, right? And yeah, it's just like, it's one of those things where you have to play by the rules in which you kind of reside in. So yeah, it is exciting and spooky at the same time. I think that's a good way to put it. And well, there we go. Yeah, so these philosophers were also teachers. That makes total sense. And I guess in a way, that still applies to into our modern day as well. A lot of the time, people go to university, like myself, they get a degree in something fucking niche as hell, and then realize, oh shit, what am I going to do with this? I guess I'll teach other people about the stuff that I learned. And so the cycle continues, right? Now, I don't have a teaching degree either, but I would consider, hopefully, some of the discussions we have here to be slightly helpful, or educational at the very least, peripherally. And so, yes, just following that like long standing tradition of getting a degree and being broke as hell and being like, well, I guess I better use this somehow. And so, yeah, it's totally fair. Like, to not even realize that poetry degrees are a thing. It's very, very, very niche. It's technically a creative writing degree, but my honors, my specialization was in poetry and experimental poetry at that, which is like niche upon niche. But yeah, it's funny because, again, even knowing what I know with like what it takes to make a living and be, you know, someone that could potentially buy a house one day, which looks increasingly out of reach for a lot of young people, I don't think I would go back and change anything if I could, if that makes sense. Like, poetry means more to me than like than a house, really. It's kind of interesting to say that out loud, but it's true. Like, I could have gone and studied something that would make me fucking miserable and would have landed me a job that, you know, I could pay the bills without thinking and stuff like that. But I think, yeah, I would be miserable to the point of being psychotic almost, and no one needs that. Literally no one needs that. I could probably be an editor. Yeah, that's true. And I've been looking for some kind of part-time work just because, like, I know at some point I will need to figure something out, because as wonderful as it is to be a streamer, like, that lifestyle is volatile. Like, Twitch could shut down tomorrow and I would be in a very sticky situation, let's just say that. Not only because, like, you know, a main source of income will be shut down, but also because of the kind of meta-textual element, which is that at this point there's like multi-year gaps in my resume, and going back into the workforce, it's like, well, what the fuck were you doing for 3 years, and how can I explain it? I don't even know. I was talking for 3 years. And so, like, it is scary to put so much stock in something that could literally fall down in an instant, like a house of cards. But again, sometimes, at least for me, I make these decisions from the heart because, like poetry, I'd be miserable without it. And so, you know, I choose every day to be here, or like, yeah, to not be doing anything else, if that makes sense, to not dim myself. So, yeah, the gap is real. And, you know, if you take a 1 year gap in your resume, people, like, employers will ask, well, what were you doing? You know, to have a longer gap is like, well, you need to account for yourself. And it's like, I can't even point people to this channel because some of the stuff we talk about is so intense, right? And yes, TB, you're absolutely right. The world itself is quite volatile. So, I don't know. Is that comforting? Maybe. I don't want the apocalypse to come, right? I don't want the purge to come either. I want people to be able to live happy, healthy lives with dignity and respect afforded to them, you know? It seems like that goes without saying, right? And yet it really doesn't, because it's not really happening. And I can't fix a lot of that stuff. I can't fix most of that stuff. So I do my best to hone in on my most immediate surroundings, both in real life and also, digitally, and do what I can there. Hopefully there is some level of butterfly effect. The butterfly effect. Yeah, that's right. Spoonerizing myself without even trying. And so, yeah, I don't know. I try not to get too existential because I'm not really a typically pessimistic person. It's just when I say these things, they sound just automatically pessimistic, right? But ultimately, I'm quite an optimistic person. At least I'd like to believe. And I think that with the right care and nourishment, like, people want to do good things for themselves and their loved ones. And once their most basic needs are taken care of, finally they're afforded the mental space to actually start thinking about, their wider communities. And I can't really blame people if they're struggling from paycheck to paycheck to think about being charitable individuals, or like, still there are lots of people like that. But it's like, I don't know. How can we expect such grace from people who have not been afforded it themselves by others? Like people in poverty and stuff like that. And we're like, oh my God, you can't use a plastic straw because of the turtles. And it's like, okay, I kind of see where you're coming from, but like, that's not the issue. That's really not the main issue. Like, we have people that are just literally like the fucking villains from the Lorax. Like, not even exaggerating. They're literally like a cartoon movie villain, and we're still focusing on these tiny squabbles that really distract from the main kind of, potential solutions. And so, anyway, I'm sure you guys don't need to know about my random ass gripes and politics. So, before I go any further down that rabbit hole, let me fulfill this wink. Is it caps, by the way? This is for you. Ready? Ding! I don't know. Ultimately, whenever I do anything, at the very least when I'm making a decision, I try to think about, does this align with my axioms, my values? Such as, does this maximize pleasure and minimize suffering, not just for myself, but anyone that I could conceivably affect? And sometimes the answer is a bit more muddy than just a yes or no. But generally, I think by now, like, a lot of that stuff can be quite common knowledge. Like, no, robbing someone is not going to be maximizing pleasure for everyone. Like, maybe I'll get some money, then I can buy a new Pathic, right? But no, my conscience would be in a net negative, and so I haven't maximized any pleasure at all. But yeah, you guys have heard me say that many times. Not the robbing and stealing, but the axiomatic frame is helpful. And like, I encourage you guys to think about what yours might be. And it doesn't have to be brand new. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I stole mine from someone that I can't even remember at this point, who probably stole it from someone else. As long as you feel like it resonates, that's all that really matters, right? And so, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if I ever get lost or don't know what to do or feel restless, like, something that helps is to come back to that most basic framework and go from there. Because, keeping it simple is an underrated strategy, I think. And yeah, it's a very quick way to also, like, slap some sense into yourself, because you realize pretty quickly, like, oh, well, yeah, it probably wasn't a good idea to do X, Y, Z, Things start to jump out more starkly than if you dress them up in justification and stuff like that. So, but anyway. I'm thirsty AF, guys. And so, Yeah. Alevra, yeah, anyway. Honestly, I should just start saying that. I hope you're well. Um, Sometimes I wonder how boring or not these more philosophical conversations are, because, like, I don't know. It's hard to see from an outsider's perspective, but sometimes I just start talking and I'm like, well, I hope that this is at least somewhat interesting to people. um, but yeah, surround yourself with folks that bring you closer. That's really nice. Yeah. I think that, um, there is a lot to be said about training one's intuition. I know it sounds spiritual and like hippy dippy, but do you ever get like a gut feeling that something or someone like gives you a bad vibe or like even a good vibe, right? And I would imagine more often than not, if that intuition is well trained and well honed and well respected, that those little vibes end up being accurate, or like at the very least they point you in a direction that is worth examining, right? Yeah, and like it sounds almost like magic when it's phrased in such a way, but it's really just it's just pattern recognition at a very minute, sometimes borderline imperceptible level, right? And yeah, so like you notice things, and sometimes even before you can consciously recognize what you've noticed, it just happens. And so there are literal functional ways to improve that skill. Like it's not something you either are born with or not, right? And like I think it's in most people's best interest to train that muscle, so to speak, because a lot of different areas in life, a lot of different arenas, uh, are consciously trying to weaken that skill in people. I hope that makes sense. Like, again, we're back to advertisements, but people in advertising want to sell their products. How do they do that? Well, it's literally kind of like a psychic damage situation. They create a need in you, and the need can only be satisfied by the thing that they're selling. How convenient. And so there are different techniques, right, that are studied and proven, like literally to the atom. They design these things to like get into your most deepest insecurities and stuff like that, and to specifically weaken that intuitive feeling of like, hang on a minute, I don't need this thing, I just am feeling like a wave of whatever it is, right? Like, so advertising is one arena, but like across the board, even in work, like a boss to their subordinate will like, subtly or not so subtly exert their will, and it's like you learn that you should just shut up and do your work. And some people that may have the boss's favor will get special privileges, and it's just like, these things aren't right, of course. Yeah, marketing people are psychic vampires. I totally agree. Yeah, and it's like, I just feel as if I'm at a crossroads, because I am admittedly part of the problem, because like I make my living online, and so there is some level of selling that I need to do, however much it fucking gives me the ick. Like I try and be as transparent as possible, but even that is like in itself a marketing word. And so there's no real way to do it that feels like non-gross, right? And so all you can really hope for is that your uh, product, service, whatever it is, like, is deemed worthy without having to play dirty tricks and stuff like that. And so, no, I haven't taken any gambling money, and they haven't emailed me back, which is good after the second one. That's very funny. But, like with my website and stuff, and the different incentives we have sometimes to subscribe and all that, like, there's something to be said about what happens when you yourself become a product. And I don't have a clean answer for it. Like, I'm not sure if there's a way to reconcile that with a desire to do as little harm as possible. I'd like to believe that there are forms of harm reduction that I employ, but I don't know if there is a completely harmless way to do it. And so that's why eventually, like, my goal has always been right from the very beginning to, by some miracle of chance and luck, to get big enough as a channel that I don't have to make my money, or at the very least the majority of my money, from individual people and like subscribers. Like, to remove that burden and place it on like bigger structures, like, sponsors that I actually give a fuck about and actually trust, or Twitch itself. Sometimes they sponsor like their creators that they think, that they're willing to back with money. And so it's like, that has always been the end game, but it's very, very rare. And to get there, you kind of need to play the salesperson game, which I fucking hate. And yeah, we're all stuck in capitalism. It's absolutely right. And I totally agree. It's not even negative. It's just realistic. There is no way to get out unless you're born into old money. But then again, you're not even outside of capitalism. You're just kind of more well equipped for it to the point where it just seems irrelevant to you. But yeah, it's just like, that's why I think a lot of what I do or think about has to do with stuff like, how can I coexist within this thing? Yeah, just maybe become a plant. That could work. Teeps, welcome in. With the knowledge that you can't escape, how can I at the very least coexist and not go absolutely crazy, Because it's easy to just feel completely doomerish and hopeless, right? Like, I feel as if, one wrong step for me, and I could definitely be in that doomer mode, right? But I always come back to the idea of what is actually most helpful to people and most generative in terms of art creation. If I get in a spiral and become depressed AF because no one's going to ever escape capitalism, at least in our current climate, like, I could just very easily curl up into a ball and not come out of my room, right? And so in that scenario, as comforting as the dark abyss may be, no art gets made, at least not by me. No art gets shared. No art gets enjoyed. Like, I don't receive other people's art and enjoy it for myself. No connections get made. And my broader community that I could have helped with, some potential for betterment does not get served. So I choose consciously, despite knowing it may be naive or even foolish, to have a more optimistic approach, because I want to serve my community, even if it means like the most tiniest thing possible, like to give a kind word to a stranger, or like to make someone laugh when they're feeling sad. Like, that is nicht nichts, which means not nothing. And I couldn't do that if I was just completely depressed about the whole situation. You know what I mean? And this, again, is not to begrudge anyone who is dealing with that kind of, those more serious feelings of depression and anxiety. I have been there too. It's just to explain the place where I'm at currently. And I don't think you have to be anti-capitalist and a doomer. Panda, welcome in. I would agree. Like, you can like take your wins where you can, almost, if that makes sense. Like, I used to think as well, and I've written about this extensively, that like, the world's fucked, we're all fucked, and it's a fucked up time to be in. And that may be actually genuinely true, right? At some level. But on the flip side of that, many things are out of our control. That's true. And it kind of becomes redundant to stress about that stuff, because the stressing isn't helping the situation or you. So you're just kind of making yourself worse off for no reason, right? But also, the thing that I most came to a realization about, that gave me the biggest wake-up call out of everything, was that idea that to sit back and lament, whether it's in writing or song or conversation like now, to lament about the state of the world is in and of itself a privileged activity. Like, I don't want to get too into this because I always get way too fired up, and I'm trying to be you know, I'm trying not to cry every single stream. But do you think that the people fucking dodging bombs left, right, and center have time to sit back and think, I wonder how we could better serve the world? No, they're fucking like trying to survive. And so that ability to sit back and philosophize is a first world privilege. And so instead of using that privilege to just be like, what a horrible world we live in. Oh, isn't it horrible? Like to actually do something about it. Like, you know what I mean? To actually do anything about it. It doesn't have to be a grand thing. Like you don't have to solve the economic crisis or manufacture peace in the Middle East, you know? That is not what I'm talking about. I mean, to take everything that you are, to embody and become yourself to the best of your abilities and show up in the places that matter to make the change that you can. Whether that's the form of like protesting, which, you know, I don't even know how much I can talk about that, but of course I am like absolutely on board with and have gone to protest in the past. Like whether it's literally just getting out of bed. It does not matter. Like there is no benchmark for like, yes, now I'm a contributing member of society. It's literally a deeply personal threshold that like, you know, only you can judge for yourself to see, am I my truest self right now? Am I my most generative, my most creative, or whatever like adjective that you value the most of you know, obviously for me, those things are important, but other people might like value, am I my most funniest self, my most honest, my most radical? Like take that stuff and investigate, like just see. And sometimes it's kind of confronting, but you know, you might be pleasantly surprised, or you might realize, maybe here's some room for improvement, you know? And so it's like, you know, yeah, Panda, I would agree. Like, I know how much I talk about certain philosophies like the decadent movement and the decadent philosophy, and I talk about hedonism and stuff like that. But I would be remiss not to stress that my actual position, like, has always been a modified form of hedonism, which I don't know if it's an actual thing, I just kind of made it up, utilitarian hedonism, right? Like, I am deeply concerned with the material outcomes of specific things and choices and events, right? And which might seem kind of surprising to people because like we have these cerebral discussions, right? We have very like high-minded talks and a lot of theory comes into play. But the material world, it is our reality for the most part. It exists and we exist within it and we are beholden to it. Certain things happen and we are at the mercy of it. And so none of the philosophy is worth anything if it, you know, if it is, if it negatively impacts one's material conditions or, you know, anyone else's. I wish I could explain that better. But all I'm trying to say is I hope that I can make a case that the philosophy, the poetry, the art, the music actually materially benefits the world through what it can induce in people, the states of being, and subsequent artistic creations, you know? I think it can be a form of therapy to make stuff. You know, I heard once that the art is actually the byproduct of a spiritual experience. And you don't have to be religious or spiritual to kind of get what that is trying to explain. It's more about the state that one is in, that flow state of creativity, and how it at least for me, seems to nourish, and that influences the rest of myself. So yeah, Cody, I'm glad. Yeah, you get what I mean. My art helps my mental health. I think that there are actually either already or emerging studies about this, that art therapy is pretty effective, and it's like more helpful and complex than it might seem on the surface. Because you think, oh, how is drawing a picture or singing a song really going to fix, the world's issues or someone's depression? And I'm not trying to claim that it has supernatural abilities. I've always tried to say, look, this stuff that we talk about is not a magic bullet, but it's a pillar of well-being that can then hopefully be used to bolster other pillars of well-being, such as your mental, physical, sexual, spiritual health, all of that stuff. You know how like sometimes if maybe you hurt your leg and you start walking more on the other leg to make up for it. I think that in a similar way, but not exactly the same, one may be able to rely on the pillar of artistic health to, at least while they wait for some of their other modes of health to catch up or to be actively worked on. And so, yeah, therapeutic and at times cathartic, absolutely. I found that while writing, stuff has come out that I never was expecting, like good stuff, bad stuff, surprising stuff, stuff that made me cry, stuff that made me laugh. And it's like, where is that coming from? I don't know, but it's happening. And like, it wouldn't have found its expression without the actual activity itself. And so, yeah. And Panda, I hope you don't mind if I read this out fully because it's a very well articulated point. The philosophical and cognitive aspect works best when it motivates action, which in turn affects material conditions. Absolutely. It's not doing the most when it's on its own, but it works in an ecosystem of change. A beautiful way to put it. And yes, I think that is my stance exactly. There is like almost like a linking effect. I hope, like that's the hope. You don't know if it will actually become that because people can take it or leave it. Like they might not absorb what you say or care about it or find that it moves them. But the hope in best case scenarios is to have that, I don't know if I should say causal effect, but something resembling that, in a similar way that one can inspire or encourage others. The philosophical side of things can hopefully do enough movement in a person to compel them towards action. And again, you'd be surprised. It could be the smallest little thing that changes a lot, a huge lot. And whether it's interpersonal, like all the way up to like nationwide or further. I believe in that. However, maybe childlike it might seem, And the fact that you can start with pure language is amazing to me. Like, I don't even know how to articulate my amazedness, but the fact that we have something that, you don't necessarily need to go to school to learn. I mean, sure, maybe it helps in some ways and harms in others because we get taught certain ways to speak and think. But when it comes to language as a thing in and of itself, like we can shape our own experiences purely through the words that we use. Like we can conceive of ourselves through the words that we use. And the more words that we have available to us, the broader the ability to experience, right? And so I wish, again, that, ironically enough, I could explain it better. But that's why I advocate so thoroughly for people to learn, or at the very least give their own hand at like writing poetry or writing stories or whatever it is, whatever word-based thing that they enjoy creating. Because here is a thing that no one can sell you. Like, it's not a product. It's literally like, grab a fucking dictionary from the library and just memorize it cover to cover. And you will have been given a gift that is way more valuable than anything you could learn in school or in some business course or in some webinar that people try to sell you in installments of like, fucking $1.99 a pop. It's just like, this is free and abundant and yours already, and it's already in you. Like this, whatever it is that language unlocks in a person. Sometimes you could argue it's being created, but I think that more often than not, it's just unearthing what's already there. And so that's incredible, right? To have parts of ourselves become more fully realized through pure language, you know? Yeah, the Emmy Cherry subscription-based course. Literally, and okay, here's the thing, by the way. I was talking before about the resistance to more like standard commercialized like forms of, I don't know, content creation. Like I had to think long and hard about, you know, how I was going to set up this channel, how far I would push certain things, how strongly I would like have monetary incentives, like the attitude that I had towards people subscribing or donating or whatever. Because, you know, like there is a subculture around that already, and in a position of power, people will acquiesce to you. They will look up to you, and it's like no small thing, right? And so, yes, stay on the free trial for indefinite like amount of time if you want. I have always said right from the beginning that, you know, I would be doing this and I would be here if no one ever subscribed ever. Or if, you know, literally I had 1 million followers and everyone was subscribed. Like the point of me being here is the being here, and everything else is a bonus. Like I was gone for, I don't know, let's say give or take half a year to a year, right? And coming back, I was nervous because I thought, well, I don't think anyone's going to remember me. Like being gone for that long on the internet is like becoming a fucking dinosaur, right? Yeah, it's a long cruise, right? And so I came back anyway because I thought, well, if I have to start from scratch, so what? I did it once before, and I was doing it back then and still am doing it now for reasons numerous and completely irrelevant to whatever paycheck I might get every month, you know? Yeah, the fun of it, of course. The learning that I am afforded from you guys, like the time to work things through in my own mind, and the, you know, the jokes and everything. Like it's so much more valuable than a number. So yeah, but my profit motive. And like, you know, that being said, I can't claim to be a martyr either. Like I've made more money on Twitch than I think most attempted streamers do. Like it's no small thing. I tried to do right by you guys and put it back into the stream or into my rent or whatever it may be. Because like, you know, how could I sleep at night if I just started taking that for granted? Something that already is very like rare and privileged. So yeah, shout out to the maid stream, you know. So yeah, it's tough and it's hard to hold those multiple like things sometimes in one, but it's, yeah, it's all we can do to just try our best and make some cool stuff and share it with some cool people and be the best version of yourself that you can be, which you know, you can only really get to by just trying and seeing what happens. Knowing that you might have moments where you trip and fall, or you trip and fall and then you get up, and then you trip and fall and then you get up, and rinse and repeat. Like in drama class in high school, we had this saying, which I think comes from a Japanese phrase, and it's 7 down, 8 up, which is essentially saying, you know, it doesn't matter how many times you fall down as long as the amount of times that you get up is like n+1. And I think that's helpful, you know, like it's really a comfort to me because it takes some of the stigma away from the act of failing and more shifts the focus onto that future oriented perspective. Like, okay, well, here's a situation. What am I going to do about it? Instead of getting stuck, I think, partway through the process, which is when you've tripped over and you're like, oh my God, what do I do now? I feel like such an idiot. I should just go away and never come back. You know, it's like, again, I ask myself in those moments, is that helpful? Is it generative? No? Okay, well, let's see if there's anything else I can do. But yeah, it ain't over till it's over. That's exactly right. You know, like, it brings me some comfort. I don't know if it does for you guys too. And it takes time. It's like not something that is, necessarily that natural to us, because it's embarrassing to, have those moments where we fail or things don't work out in the way we may have hoped. But again, I try to avoid the doomer perspective because it doesn't help me. Like, it doesn't make me feel better anyway. It just makes me feel sad. When I'm sad, I can't really do anything but focus on how sad I am. And so, yeah, I think I'm put to much better use when I actually have a purpose and a gladness to be here, So, yeah, head first, boldly go into the fray. I'm still working on that in terms of, courage-wise. It takes me a bit to muster up my courage, but, I'm slowly but surely kind of, I don't know, trying to push that little voice down that says XYZ, you're not good enough or this or that enough. So, but yeah, you're right, Cody. I did have reasons, I think good ones too, for the extended break. But I am glad to be back, and I hope I don't have to do that again. Last year I said we're going to thrive in 2025, but I think the truth was that I barely survived 2025. And so now in 2026, I'm not going to make any promises because I know how that can turn out. But I'm hoping that, at least so far it's already gone way better. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. And so, yeah, risky business. Also, if you guys can hear that, I think my bro just got home. He's at my parents' place. Excited trepidation. I love that. I love the specificity. Yes, totally. Like, sometimes it seems funny. It's like, how can something be like exciting and scary or nerve-wracking at the same time? And I'm like, they're literally the same feeling, Like, I feel as though they're closer to each other than they're different, if that makes sense. I don't know if he brought more nuts. I should probably ask, but yeah. And he's been playing Procopia, actually. Did I tell you guys about that? He bought that recently. And he's literally obsessed with it. So I guess that's good. Yeah, fear and excitement are definitely two sides of the same coin, I would agree. And it's interesting to me because, like, I think there is, like, I don't know, a good evolutionary reason for that sense of, like, alertness, right? I was actually talking to a friend about this today, like, without any, whatever the word is, like, giggles, the word arousal, if you zoom out to its most broadest sense, it really just means that idea of, like, being really aware, like switched on, alive in your body. And so that could be taken in many different ways. It could be libidinal, of course. It could be arousal in the sense of being, nervous or scared or excited. And it's kind of like a description for a process that is quite bodily. And, it's like, it's interesting. It's interesting how things that seemingly are contradictory are actually quite close together, closer than you might first imagine. Did you check his Steam? I did not actually, but I told you guys, I told him what you guys said about the M++ thing, and he actually laughed his head off. And he doubled down on what he said, that he plays N++ as a warm-up, and I said, you know how that doesn't make sense, right? And he was just like, yeah. So, it's quite funny, and yeah, I have not checked his Steam, but, you know, maybe I should. And I said that he probably has an N++ shirt in the wardrobe, and he started laughing again. So you guys made my brother laugh. Congrats. But yeah, Pocopia. I did play a bit when, like, you know, he asked me to, because he was like, Emmy, I want to play this with you. And I was like, okay. And it looks like, first of all, a massive game. There's so much stuff. Like, just so many worlds and, like, items and quests and all that stuff. And I was surprised by the sheer scale of the game. It's very much like a mix of a few different games that were pretty popular, maybe a few years back, like Animal Crossing and stuff like that. But, yeah, I think it's already found, like, a very, very passionate audience. And I can see why, you know, especially if you're a Pokemon fan. Like, when I was in high school, or maybe just a bit younger, I had a DS, and I had some Pokemon game on it. The one where Piplup is one of the starting Pokemon. And so Piplup is my favorite Pokemon. I don't know if I've ever said that on stream before, but there you go, some rare Emmy lore. And I was always more of like a, I don't know, not that this was even a distinction, but like more of a Zelda girl than like a Pokemon girl. You know, I'd play the Zelda games, and that's maybe a mistake. I don't know, because I never really got to get that into the Pokemon games. And so, yeah, the rare lore drop, it's actually quite rare, guys. And so I never got to fully dive into that world, perhaps regrettably, because I do like that sort of thing. I like the cuteness factor. I like the fact that there's like fucking millions of different Pokemon that evolve into other random stuff, and it's like you can very easily collect a bunch of trivia and have these little connections and patterns, and I love that kind of thing usually. So I just missed out on the initial like adolescent or pre-adolescent like experience, and so now I don't get that same nostalgia that other people probably get when they play Pocopia. But it's still cute as fuck, and I still see like Piplup, you know, Piplup's in it, so I'm happy. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like the thing that I did not like in the Pokemon games, which I don't even know, is this unpopular? It may or may not be. I really just didn't like how when you're walking in the tall grass, you sometimes just can't avoid getting stopped. I was like, just let me fucking walk, you know what I mean? Because like, I know it's literally the whole game. It's literally the whole game, I know, to like have battles and shit like that. But I don't want to have a battle every 2 seconds. And like, I just want to walk. I want to walk a few steps before I have to do this shit again. And like, you can also flee. It's like, and by the way, I say this with all the love in my heart, because I know how important these games are to people. My brother especially, like, he loves the crap out of these games, right? So anything that I say with genuine love. But like, I don't want to necessarily have to be stopped every 2 seconds. And like, there's that feeling when there is just only tall grass to walk through where you're like, I already know what's going to happen. And so you don't want to have dread pre-installed within you, like when you're playing a game, because you know what's about to happen. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so the grinding side of things, no matter what game, has never really appealed to me, because I always just get like annoyed. Like I start rage quitting and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this, I'm going to play Balatro. Or like, yeah, I don't know. Games where it's a bit more open and you can do what you want. And so that's kind of why I never got that into it. I'm sure that nowadays those games are a bit more open, but it's just, you know, all roads lead to Balatro. Exactly. I fucking love that game. Literally, I love that game so much, it's a problem. I've been trying to stay away from it because I know I will just lose my, 6 months of my life to it again. So whatever the fuck the developer put in that game, whatever drugs, like, I can't. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my nostalgia is pretty specific to like one or two things because that's all I like engaged with culturally as a kid. Cat in the Hat is absolutely one of them, Cody, and Austin Powers trilogy. What else? Like, this is very niche, and I don't know if people outside of Australia will understand this, but we had, like, when I was a kid, on TV, a particular program called Roller Coaster. I'm pretty sure it was that. Roller Coaster or Roller Coaster Kingdom. And it was like a before/after school show that played every day with this host called Elliot, and he would be, like, showing us different, like, TV shows and stuff like that. And that's where, like, oh, God, like the gamers, like Barjo and Hex. This is all like very, very old stuff that I'm having to Jimmy Neutron to think about. But yeah, there was shows like Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. Yeah, good game. That's right. Thank you so much. And like, I used to love that show. Or I guess program with multiple shows in it. Yes, Good Game Spawn Point. That's exactly right. And I'm pretty sure one of them, is it Hex? Or is it both of them, actually stream on Twitch too, which is very cool. So yeah, Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Children or something. Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. That was so scary. It's scary that even now as an adult, I would get very scared. Like, if I had to rewatch it. Because there was like one time where like, this kid got like, oh no, I can't even say this shit. It's actually scary as fuck. Anyway, and the like art style was also scary too. So it was kind of like, I don't know, something that freaked me the fuck out as a child. But I couldn't stop watching. So it was like one of those things where, you know, you're kind of like that, but then just like, you know, because it was so scary. And the way the guy said it, you know what? I'm going to show you guys, like, not the full thing. I don't even know if it's going to be on YouTube, but at least the intro. And the way he said it was like, Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. And he's like drawing it out. It's like, bro, that's gruesome what you're doing right now. Grizzly Tales. Yes, for Gruesome Kids. Okay. It was literally so fucking scary. Okay. Oh, should we watch like an actual full episode? Oh, it's 10 minutes. Not that long, but at least I'll show you guys the intro and you can decide for yourself. Here we go. Oh, shit. Oh, God. This is giving me, like, I don't know how this is making me feel. Okay. Tell me if the sound is too high, too low, and I'll adjust it for you guys. But I'm kind of down. If you guys are down. Let's see. Oh, how's the sound? Ew! Like, it's already freaking me out. It sounds good? Perfect. Thank you, guys. Beautiful, beautiful individuals. What would I do without you? Look at this guy.
You are welcome to Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. A series of cautionary tales for lovers of squeeze.
No! Don't do it! Don't do it!
I call this tale The Barber of Civil. Oh.
Aww.
Rude children should be seen and not heard. Don't you agree, Spindleshanks? Quiet when I'm talking.
Oh, he's actually cute.
Do you know what these are, children?
Leeches?
Slugs? Oh, dear, no!
What the fuck? I'm already freaked the fuck out.
You will probably have heard of a town called Saucy by Sea.
Saucy?
Once upon a time, the children who lived in this town had a terrible reputation. They were the rudest children in the world. And the rudest of them all were Tanya and Peregrine. Jingle
Peregrine
bells,
took.
teacher smells, I wish she'd go away. She looks just like an elephant, I've nothing more to say. there was a
Wow, that's so
gasp from
rude.
the class. Go and see the headmaster, sizzled the teacher with steam and fury. Now,
No.
Tanya, meanwhile, was doing gym.
Tuck your skirt into your knickers yourself.
She shouted at her games teacher.
I'm not doing it.
Tanya, everyone does gym in their knickers.
Not me. I've got a note from my mum.
Where?
Here.
Said Tanya defiantly.
La. It's a musical note. My mum's always singing it.
Go
musical
and
note.
see the headmaster.
That kind of slaps.
Gasped the games teacher slowly. Now, the
Oh.
headmaster was a wise old man who knew exactly how to deal with cheeky children. Once he'd finished with them, they always said sorry.
What is he going to do to them?
Well, what have you got to say for yourselves?
We're not scared of your stupid old stick. If you really want to know, you make us sick. 'Cause you look like a camel with a hairy hump. You're an innie, you're a twit, you're a great fat lump.
Could you get matron, please?
It so happened that the very next day, a new shop
He died.
appeared in the high street. The sign outside said, Barber. Then in small letters underneath, Children, a speciality. The barber was a
That's kinda sus.
cheerful-looking man with a handlebar moustache, bright red cheeks, and a long, licking tongue.
What the fuck?
He visited the local schools and offered free haircuts to all the children. He very quickly became popular with the parents. Whenever their children visited his shop, they went in cheeky and rude and came out as polite could
What
be.
the fuck is this implying? Wait, what the? I'm sorry, I just needed to pause it for a second because, am I hearing this correctly? This guy is not allowed near a school zone. That's exactly what I was gonna say. This guy with a long tongue who specifically specializes in kids and gives them free haircuts. And they go in cheeky and come out normal. I was going to say a word that I think would be funny, but very rude. So I'm not going to say it. But like, they come out dazed and traumatized. Oh my God. Cassie, don't look. Please. This is not for your eyes, Cassie. I would spell it. Look. No, I can't even say it. It's actually too rude. Like, it's kind of that edgy humor that you say in person, but you can't say in front of your parents or like in front of your boss. Okay, so I know this currently is only showing a foot just out of frame, but this is from a show that used to be on when I was a kid called Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, exactly like that. And every single time this came on, it terrified me. But I don't really remember much. Grizzly Tales, and it's just recounting how a pedophile moved into town. That is pretty grisly. You know what? Like, that's actually, that's hard hitting. And Cody, I'm glad. Yeah, if you are into like horror, and specifically, and I say this with affection, I wish there was a better term for this, but like the ugly art style, which is it gives it its charm, right? Like, I don't think they should change it. Like, I think they made the right choice in keeping it that kind of, you know, a bit unsettling, a bit ugly look, for lack of a better term. But it's just, yeah. I'm sorry, I've never seen this before, or if I have, it was as a kid and I don't remember anything that's in it. But what the fuck? Why does it matter that his tongue is long AF and like he's doing things with kids for free. Okay. Fine, I'll say... No, I can't say it. I'm just going to keep watching. Let's see.
It was the turn of Peregrine and Tanya's school.
Peregrine.
For a visit. Good morning, said the barber as he entered Peregrine's class. Good morning, sir, replied everyone, except Peregrine. Aren't you going to say good morning, young man?
No, old boy, I ain't.
The barber chuckled.
Oh my god.
You look like you need a haircut. Come and see me tomorrow morning, he said. The barber entered Tanya's class just as she was flicking ink pellets at the French teacher.
Old boy kind of slapped though, as an insult.
Tanya went one further. And what might your name be, my dear?
It might be drop dead gorgeous, but it isn't.
It's Tanya, said the teacher.
Why is it
Tanya,
like...
said the barber.
Why are their comebacks actually low-key good? Like when he said, what's your name, young man? And he said something, old boy. It's like, that kind of goes hard. And then when she said her name might be drop dead gorgeous, it's like, I don't know, that kind of slaps. Like, it's rude and like bratty, but it kind of slaps. And yeah, literally, bro is scouting victims and telling them to go to a second location. He's just getting away with it. It's just like, oh my god, I hope this isn't going where it looks like it's going, but surely not. This is for kids. Maybe it's like a stranger danger type situation. Yeah, wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? Exactly. Holy shit.
Wrote the name down. I think you're in need of a lock chopping too. The following morning.
Wait.
Tanya and Peregrine.
Now, I might be completely, what's the word? Obvious for pointing this out, but underneath barber, look what it says. Oh, and Quill, this is, I was gonna give you a wink. This is for you, ready? And a wink for free. Ding! Thank you very much. Yeah, he probably will take their tongues. Oh my god, that's freaky.
Turned up at the barber's shop for their haircuts. In the middle of the room stood a large black and chrome.
That's what's in the jar.
Underneath.
That's literally what's in the jar. It's tongues.
The bright overhead light. To the left lay a bag of steel instruments.
Have you noticed that there aren't any mirrors?
Said Peregrine.
Perhaps he doesn't want us to see what he's doing.
No shit.
Ugh, look at these, shouted Peregrine, lifting the barber's collection of slugs off the counter.
Slugs.
Imagine putting one of those in your mouth. Oh, no, Peregrine, don't.
Peregrine was pretending to eat it.
No, stop it, Peregrine, I'll be sick.
What the fuck?
So will he.
He literally licked it. He was literally like, no, I'm not going to recreate that. He literally licked it. What the? Okay. Also, if they are tongues, why are they moving around like that? Yeah, this is literally what constitutes as Australian fucking children's TV.
Said a voice from the
Why
back
is he
of the
licking
shop.
it?
Peregrine got such a fright that he swallowed the slug and smashed the jar on the floor. As the heaving, twisting ball of slimy slugs slithered around Tanya's feet, she heard 100 cheeky voices shout out,
Sharp, natural, won't do it, don't wear. And I hate you, and I hate you. Get them off me!
she shrieked. The barber
This is actually, no, I'm sorry. It's annoying, I know, to pause it so often, but I need to catch my breath. Because this is actually like the scariest shit I've seen in a hot minute. Okay. First of all, why is he being sus like that? But okay. The way he described it, like the twisting, wriggling, Bro is a tongue swapper is crazy work. You guys are literally the only thing stopping me from, like, breaking out into hives of fear. Holy fuck. The way, like, the voice that was coming out of the tongue's like, we hate you, we hate you. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This is why, Cassie, don't look, please. We had Barney the Purple Dinosaur and Teletubbies in America. This is madness. I am so sorry. Like, I know that this is like, this is not something you show on like a first date or anything, because like they will never ever see you again, and in fact they'll probably block your number. That's how you can tell that, like, you know, at this point in this stream with you guys, like, I'm keeping it 100, and we're way past that first date. Not the tongues going like, we hate you, we hate you. What the fuck? Oh my god, I can't. It's like there's something also about like the low quality nature of it that makes it so much more creepy. Like if it was well mixed and well produced and like well drawn, I think it would lose some of its creepiness. But the fact that it's just like, we hate you, we hate you. It's like, oh my god, I can't. If you showed me this on a first date, I'd probably be intrigued. I think the correct thing to do would be to run as far and as fast as possible. But that is very cute. Oh my god. I'm sorry, the voices coming from the tongues got me. Like, that actually got me. And the fact that they're brown as well is making me feel a bit sick, I'm not gonna lie. And this was on, like, almost every day after school. Like, as a kid. To the point where you think maybe that does explain some shit. You know, it does explain my dark mind. Have you guys seen that meme? Or did I just come up with that? I don't even know. It's like my dark and twisted mind when you just like say something very mild. Yeah, literally interdimensional television type shit. That is so that's so accurate. Oh my god. Yeah, this was on like every day after school. Like, grisly tales for gruesome kids. And it's like, okay, why? But also, it was really addictive as well. And I would simultaneously dread it and be like on the lookout for it. Like, I'd be like, oh, I hope that show doesn't play. I really hope that show doesn't play. Like, you know, to a dark and twisted mind like myself, a crazy straw is just a straw. I fucking love that. That's really, I'm going to steal that. I'm going to say it at a friendly gathering and everyone's going to laugh. And then people will think that I'm actually, you know, witty and funny, but I actually just stole that from you, Panda. So thank you. Thank you for my future clout. So, sorry, we've been on this frame for so long where this guy's just arching his back. And okay. Let's just see how it ends. I'm sorry. We can't stay on this for any longer or I will actually, I don't know.
The chattering slugs and squeezed them into his pocket.
Oh,
then
God.
He smiled
Don't smile, dude.
and locked the door. He tied a small plastic bib around each of their necks. The children were frightened.
Frightened. I bet they were. What the fuck? Stop licking your lips.
Now, who wants to be first? Peregrine with your short back and sides? Or Tanya, I have you down for the full chop.
But I don't want all my hair chopped off.
We'll start with Peregrine then. Up you come. The barber helped Peregrine into the black and chrome dentist's chair. Open wide, he said.
Stop! Screamed Tanya. You're not a dentist. Why should he open his mouth? You cut people's hair.
Whatever gave you that idea? He laughed. I teach little children to keep a civil tongue in their heads.
So, those aren't slugs in your pocket?
No, they're children's tongues.
Sorry. I'm sorry, like, the part that's cracking me up is the fact that he just so plainly and blatantly said the thing that was obvious as fuck to everyone, because it's a kid's show, but he's like, no, actually, that was a children's tongue. Like we hadn't already figured it out. Oh my god. I love this show. I love it and hate it at the same time. It's like, wait, you're not a dentist? And I'm not a barber either. I'm a tongue barber, and those are children's tongues. It's like, yeah, that's literally... We kind of put all the pieces together, but thank you for, like, settling the score. I'm gonna cut off your tongue and put another one in. Whoa. Okay. Sorry. Just like, I don't know, something about the obviousness of it just got me. Like, I don't know, I was expecting it to be a bit more, I don't know, allegorical. But also, how sus is it that he takes something wriggling from his pocket and puts it in a kid's mouth, that he locked the door, like, and he locked them in the room. Who's laughing now? No one.
The little bits of children's tongues that make you all so foul-mouthed. I snip out the rudeness. I trim off the cheekiness. I cut away the bad language, and when I've finished, I rinse your mouths out with soap and water. Ha 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 ha! When Tanya and Peregrine went back to school on Monday, they were different children. Their tongues were shorter, for one. Also, they didn't swear, they weren't cheeky, and they didn't try to be clever in front of the rest of the class.
I like when he randomly starts yelling.
Left Saucy by Sea that week and was never seen again. So if a new barber arrives at your school, I suggest you keep your mouth firmly shut. Do you still want to know what's in this jar? Shan't tell you.
I am not kidding. I am literally not kidding. That scared the fuck out of me. Like... I didn't make a noise, but my whole body jolted when he turned into a tongue. Oh my god, guys. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Also, Panda, I think you're absolutely right. And as soon as the full episode finished, I had the same exact realization. That is kind of... Like, we were joking about the whole, like, pedophilic angle, but literally that's what it is. I'm so sorry that I showed that to you guys. That I just brought that gruesomeness into our family-friendly stream. You guys want to watch another one? Holy fuck, that scared me. Wait, are there any comments? No. But look, it's got... almost 2 million views. Holy fuck, my heart is racing. There was one in particular that I remember as a kid. The complete series. Ooh, the complete series. There was one that I remember where a kid was like turned into an insect. I'll just click on this and see where it takes us, but let's give it a sec. Holy fuck, this is like the whole thing. And to some of our friends just joining us, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'm so sorry for like what I'm doing to you guys. This was a show that I watched as a kid regularly, and it terrified me. And maybe explain some stuff about my dark and twisted mind. My goodness, it's fucking terrifying. Though I will say, it also makes me laugh in weird ways. Like, when the narrator just suddenly says a word, but, like, forcefully. Like, he'll just be saying a random sentence, and then he'll be like, so I bet you don't want to know what kind of tongues are in this jar. And it's like, dude, chill. Chill TF out. But, like, I don't know, there's something kind of awesome about that at the same time. So I don't know how I feel. I'm just like, you know, a washing machine of emotions. But holy fuck. We could go from the start, or I could pick a random one. When the bed bugs bite. Oh, yes. Yes, that is it, I think. When the bed bugs bite. Thank you so much. Oh, I think this is it. He be biting. I'm pretty sure the show is discontinued. I'm pretty sure. Which is a very funny question. And, my God. Is it possible they were intentionally making them with a hidden second meaning? I honestly don't know. Because looking at this with, you know, adult sensibilities and adult eyes actually is kind of, I don't know. It's making me appreciate it a lot more. And so we'll see if there's a trend of like double meanings or something, because one episode maybe isn't enough to go based on, but the previous one, which is just a random one that I clicked on, very, very heavily allegorical to a pretty serious topic. So yeah, it's either weird or genius. That's exactly right. I'd like to believe it's awe, right? So let's see. Let's watch another one. This kid. Now, I watched this when I was like fucking 8 years old, by the way. Or something like that. What a troll. He just gave him popcorn filled with fucking slugs.
You are welcome to Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids. A series of cautionary tales.
Oh my
for
God,
lovers
it's
of
different.
Scream. What would you do if you woke up one day and looked in the mirror, but the face what stared back wasn't yours? I'll go back to
Kafka-esque.
bed and smash the mirror.
Spider is cute, and I like
This
literally never
tale
say that.
is called When the Bed Bugs Bite.
This is the one I think that used to scare me the most.
Night, night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. If they do, get a shoe and squash those nasty bugs in two. In a faraway place, just between the land of dreams and
What
the
is that?
valley of nightmares,
A telephone.
is a spinning block of ice. Inside this block of ice is an answer phone, where all the good night wishes of the world are stored until she decides to grant them. Hannibal was every bit as bad as a bedbug. He was a nasty, biting boy with piranha-sharp teeth and a liking for flesh. Shush! Quiet, please. Can't you read?
What a little
Hannibal's
menace.
Parents lived in fear of their son. Have a care, Hannibal, his father scolded, or one day you'll bite off more than you can chew. It's so unhygienic, said his mother. People are uncooked. You don't know where they've been. And how are we
Wait,
going to pay for this?
That's the issue? That people are uncooked? No, you're not meant to bite people in general. I mean, yeah, it's probably unhygienic, but that's like the main issue, man. And also, like, first of all, I need to rewind because in that first, like, 2 minutes, so much shit happened that I was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So the phone in the block of ice in space made me laugh for its raw XD randomness. But then it kind of got interesting and mystical when it came to like someone who answers the phone of wishes of people that dream, I think it was. But then it turned out to be this woman like who looks weird and scary, and they gave her a mustache. And it's like, okay, that's happening. And now we have this kid called Hannibal, you know, which everyone knows, like, that's a very loaded kind of name. And he bites people. And it's like, okay, where is this going? I should also say when I was a kid, I told a story which is captured on camera when I was like literally, again, probably like 6 to 8 year old Emmy. I told a story about how I made a sandwich and then the sandwich bit me. And my mum started laughing because obviously it's an inversion. In comedy, it's an inversion, which is surprising, which makes people laugh because they don't expect it. But I just thought it was because I said that I got bitten. And so I just kept the joke going, not knowing what made the original line so funny. And so this is how it went. I made a sandwich and the sandwich bit me. My mum started laughing. And then the wall bit me. And then the picture bit me. And then she was just like, all right. And so for some reason I got reminded of that from watching this kid bite everything in sight. And so, yeah. I didn't understand comedy back then, and to be honest, I don't understand it much now, but I thought that was a funny story that, I don't know if I've even told it before, but yeah, there's a video of it. I'll have to ask my mom if she can grab it because it's hilarious. I literally had like one tooth as well, so it is kind of cute, you know? And then I think I said even more stuff was biting me, but like, again, by that point, the moment had just passed. I was trying to reclaim some of my accidental fame and fortune from my first ever joke. Oh yeah, quit while you're ahead, exactly. I really should have just quit while I was ahead. But I think at a certain point, if you still continue going, it will circle around back into being funny. At least that's the hope. So anyway, sorry, that's a diversion. This Hannibal is a biter, so literally an ankle biter, as you guys were saying. Let's see how it gets resolved.
It was a bill from the Natural History Museum. We're not. No! No! That was one less fingernail his father would have to trim.
Ew.
Hannibal was sent to bed. Curb your
Aww.
gnashing or else, roared his father.
You're gnashing.
But it's fun. Where are you going? Oh, you haven't done the night-night wish. Night-night, sleep tight, hope the bedbugs don't bite.
Because it's not true, Hannibal. We hope the bedbugs do bite.
But that would hurt.
Yes? It is our wish to see you taught a lesson, Hannibal. And if that lesson is a serious biting from bedbugs, then so be it.
Uh-oh.
A serious biting from bedbugs, then so be it.
Yeah, why did his parents look like they would talk like this? Guess the word.
Hannibal slept fitfully. Hope the bedbugs do bite. Hope the bedbugs do bite. Hope the bedbugs do bite.
It's so funny because, like, instead of just replaying and echoing that line, I think that person just said it over and over again. Because it just sounded like someone saying it over and over again instead of being an echo. Hope the bedbugs do bite. I hope the bedbugs do bite. I also love the narrator. Oh gosh. Man, this is bringing me back. I don't even know, like, how to explain this feeling. It's just like nostalgia, but in a kind of bad way, but also in a kind of good way. Yeah, why? Are they wearing chainmail because he would bite them otherwise? Like, I hope the bedbugs do bite.
Terrifying nightmare about a queen bug, a cot cell, click-clack teeth, and a right royal pasting.
I can't move.
What?
Even my mouth is setting. Night, night, sleep tight.
The laugh.
But when Hannibal jerked awake, he was still a biter. And later that day, while the headmistress was dusting the school trophies, "You horrible brute of a boy! Go home now and don't come back until you've changed." Hannibal went home. But on the way, his teeth started to itch. The lollipop lady seems
Okay, first of all,
strangely...
that is like one of the scariest things I've ever heard. Your teeth itching. Oh my god. I hope what I'm thinking is not what's about to happen. Oh my god. Guys, I'm sorry. Cover your ears and eyes. I'm sorry. I should not be showing you guys this. I feel bad.
familiar in a nightmarish sort of way. Then suddenly,
What the
Hannibal
fuck?
expected her to explode, but she didn't. She bounced and brushed herself down. My fault, no damage. But there was to the truck. She must have had strong bones. And still Hannibal did not recognize her, not even when two feelers twitched out of her cap.
Oh.
Not even when she touched him on the head with her golden lollipop. Hannibal's parents' wish was about to come true. That night, a stranger came to his door. "Are you a bug?" asked Hannibal. "You look like one." "No, dear,
Hey,
I'm
are you a
the
bug?
bug exterminator. Excuse the garb, but it stops creepy crawlers sneaking up my trouser legs. Now, I've been told there are bed bugs in your bedroom." "Really?" "Yes, really. Why else would you beg them not to bite you every night?" "What's that?"
How do you know what I beg for at
"My
night?
vacuum cleaner for sucking up bugs when I find them." There was a tiny scuttling noise inside the cylinder.
Is every single episode about a pedophile that somehow comes in and creates some havoc? Yeah, like, maybe all of them have the moral of the story of just like stranger danger. Yeah. I imagine Emmy sitting beside you while watching this and sneaking a pinch to scare you. That's something I definitely do nowadays. But when I was a kid watching this for the first time, I was literally like, I was shivering in fear. Literally like trying to decide whether or not I wanted to watch it or not. First of all, Luigi's Mansion type beat with that vacuum. But what the fuck is this show? This shit is wild. I know, right? I'm scared too, guys. We should all huddle up and, you know, just watch out for any stranger danger. Release the grisly fires. Fuck me dead. That's funny. You guys, how am I supposed to concentrate when you guys are saying funny shit like that in the chat? The narrator was photographed on the island. Oh my god. You know what, that reminds me, I'm sorry to take another diversion here, but like, he said he was there for snorkeling. Okay. First of all, there's two slightly related stories that I just wanted to share. So the first one is, my mom has been watching Star Trek and Stargate. She told me that she's been watching it so much and so often that she had a dream that they released the Stargate files, as in like the Epstein files, and she thought it was real. And she woke up trying to Google it and trying to figure out what this whole thing was. But then I was like, Mum, what the hell are you talking about? And she's like, oh, that was just a dream. She's like, Emmy, did you know they released the Stargate files? And I was like, what is that? And separately, I told my brother the story of what happened on stream, where I was discussing the ethics of keeping a lip gloss that I have, that I bought before a particular creator, Jeffree Star, became problematic. I told him the story of how, while I was describing it, I said, so yeah, I got this lip gloss from Jeffree, and I think I paused for whatever reason, and someone in the chat said, Jeffrey Epstein. And I was like, it just took me so off guard, even though I should have been expecting it, because like, I was discussing the ethics of, you know, potentially throwing out this gloss because Jeffree Star is now problematic for his drama and like his, you know, his various controversies. But it's like, if it was from Jeffrey Epstein, you throw that shit out. It doesn't matter how much it cost. It does not matter how much the lip gloss cost. You don't debate the ethics, you just throw it away. And so that, I think that's why it took me off guard. Because I was like, yeah, Jeffstein McEffrey is fucking crazy. That's hilarious. Yeah, at that point, mail it to the FBI. You're so right. And it was just funny because like the pause was perfectly aligned with, I think, whoever said Jeffrey Epstein. And they were asking genuinely because I had like paused. And it was a combination of the earnest like question, the mental image in my mind of like actually debating whether or not to keep a lip gloss because, yeah, I know he's kind of controversial and a bit problematic because I think that's how I started talking about the Jeffree Star thing. Then being like, Jeffrey Epstein, like that's a bit more than problematic. That's like crime scene evidence. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Let's continue.
Are
Fucking
those
funny.
bed bugs I can hear now? Too many questions. Now show me your bedroom. Hannibal's parents were locked out. Only Hannibal was allowed in the bedroom with her
Whoa,
to show her
whoa.
how he slept.
He locked the door and
Then
threw him
she
on the
stuck
bed
the
and
nozzle
got out
in
a
the
measuring
bed
tape.
and switched the vacuum on.
What the hell?
Are you sucking the bed bugs out now? Something like that.
He's putting them in,
she
guys.
said. That should
No,
do
you know
it.
what's funny?
Mission
Like, okay, just knowing what we just saw with the previous episode, the fact that the kid was just like, are you sucking them out? When it's very obvious he's just putting them in. There's going to be a point in this episode where the villain is going to be like, and so instead of sucking them out, I actually put them in. And it's like saying some very obvious and also very sus shit.
accomplished. I'll let myself out. Night, night. Sleep tight. An hour later, the bedbugs came out to play. They swarmed across his feet, scuttled up his legs, and sank their tiny little teeth in. In the morning, Hannibal's arm was stiff when he brushed his teeth, and his eyes were half closed. When he got dressed, his shirt split across his back. When he went down to breakfast, his mother screamed and his father fainted. And when he walked to school, people stared at him. What had got into everyone this morning? What's wrong? I won't bite. And the headmistress poked him with a mop. When
dare
I
she.
said you were not to come back until you changed, she screeched, this was not what I meant. I'm going to get the exterminator. Hannibal did not understand. At least, not until he caught sight of his reflection in a window. And staring back at him was not a boy, but a huge black bedbug with munching mandibles and flicking feelers.
Yeah, it's very
If they
Kafka-esque.
do, get a shoe and squash those nasty bugs in two. Suddenly, a motorbike roared into the playground and screeched to a halt in a cloud
Motorbike.
of burning rubber.
Damn, aura.
You! Cried Hannibal. Me! smiled the bug exterminator. Then she took a giant shoe
Oh my god.
and split Hannibal open like a pistachio nut. In that faraway place, the answer phone tape rewound.
She straight up
to the
murdered him.
start,
She
to
murked
begin
him.
again, to wait for the next good night wish.
She
Who
murdered a
knows?
child in cold blood.
Maybe yours. Spindleshanks, wake up! I just saw a bug in your bed. Don't worry, I'll get it for you.
Does he always
Whoops,
become that
It
thing?
was you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm feeling like a new emotion that I don't know if it's ever been described before. What do people have to say? Thank you for traumatizing a young child. Underrated episode. 258.
Go! That was one.
What the actual fuck? One more? One more. It does seem like a lot of these are allegorical, and it works on multiple layers because the kids learn to, not bite or not say rude things, but also potentially subconsciously, they're learning about, the different ways that bodily or mental harm can come to them if they potentially trust strange people. Yeah, it's for gruesome kids. My god. Grisly tales. One more before bed. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Again, I'd like to stress, kids, that this used to be on, like, after school every day, as, like, a child. So, if you ever wonder, like, why is Emmy like this? I have this to point to. It's perfect for before bed. I'm so sorry if you guys have nightmares today. Jamie's school dinners. Oh, I'm a very bad sweet tooth, so maybe this will help me stop eating so many sweets and junk food. Yeah, moral of the story, don't bite people or you will be cut in half. It's funny because it's so random. Literally, that implied that he actually got killed. Like, he got turned into a massive bug, very Kafka-esque, and then got shooed and split in two. 1, 2, get split by a shoe. Let's see what Jamie's School Dinners has to offer us. And yes, I'm going to watch the full intro every time because I love it. And I think it is slightly different every time. Oh, this one's a bit louder. Put it down. Hopefully that's good. It is a necessity, I agree. And this poor kid watches every single one. Let's see what he gets in his bucket this time. Oh! It didn't show.
You are welcome to Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids, a series of cautionary tales for
worms.
lovers of Squeam.
Why is this kid still here? Like, why didn't he not GTFO when he got handed that bucket of
I
slugs?
call this tale Jamie's School Dinners. They
Aw.
say that school food was healthier in the old days when children ate brains, liver, heart and kidney.
Didn't he
Today's
say that?
children won't eat internal organs. Give them chicken nuggets every time. Mind you, if they knew what went into the making of a chicken nugget, they might think differently. One thing's for sure, it's not chicken. Jamie loved chicken nuggets, but then he did have a brain the size of 2 peanuts. His parents had given him theirs. You can put our 2 little brains together to make one big brain. I don't know what to say.
Okay, first of all,
Well,
I know they're playing that for comedy, but that's actually like legitimately nice and sweet. Like 2 parents doing what they can, like to give their son the best shot at life. Like they're playing it off like, haha, look at these dumb parents. But it's like, they're literally doing everything within their means to help their son. Also, to our first time chatter, Benji, what in the world did I come into? I am so sorry. It's not always like this, I swear. And I have no excuse. It's just a, yeah. It's an old cartoon from when I was a kid that is literally fucked the fuck up. The kid is going to get lured with food, then diddled, then turned into food. That's literally my prediction also. So let's see how it goes.
Pop them in and maybe you'll think of something. His parents had stopped using their brains the day they told Jamie that a cola and a cheeseburger was a balanced meal. You can hold one in each hand, see? And because they're the same weight, that is balanced. You could tightrope walk across Death Valley like that. Actually, a pound of lard would balance 2. Unless I went and ate it, because I would, because I love lard. Because all he ever ate at home was processed slops, Jamie grew used to the taste. And because he wouldn't eat anything he hadn't tasted before, all he ever ate was junk. And if it's true that you are what you eat, that meant Jamie was junk too, which is why nobody cried when he disappeared.
Whoa.
I think I'd better explain.
Okay, wait. This is actually giving me a different vibe than the other 2, because, like, first of all, the other 2 episodes were about, like, bad habits or bad manners that the kids were doing, right? But, like, this is, like, just what it means to have, like, a food addiction or to be in poverty and, like, you know, have to do what you gotta do. And instead they're making it like a moral failing. It's like, what the fuck? It just makes me sad. Like, kids don't have the capacity to necessarily make informed choices about what they eat. So if they're eating junk food, obviously it's the parents' fault. And if it's the parents' fault, well, sometimes it's like they may not have a choice either. Like, they have shit going on. It's different to having, like, bad manners, if you know what I mean. Like, we got to eat food to survive. And, like, food is actually genuinely addictive as well, especially junk food. And so they're just saying, look at these fatties eating their fatty foods. And it's like, that's not really, like, what? It's kind of, yeah, a bit different to the other ones. But look, I'm going to give it the full shot because, like, you know, they're probably building to a larger point here, but, like, I don't know. Yeah, pick yourself up by your bootstraps and eat healthy. It's like, this is a kid who, like, from literally a baby was given a chocolate bar. Like, he's not to fault for his wired pathways in his brain to find junk food addictive. It's literally designed to be like that. And he didn't, like, they said, oh, no one noticed when he went missing. It's like, what the hell? Damn, I didn't realize that eating junk food meant you were literally Hitler. It's like, what the fuck? It's just so different to the other 2. You know what I mean? Like, am I tripping, or is that, like, kind of coming across to you guys too? Yeah, it's just, a doctor will tell you if your kid won't eat certain foods. feed them what they will, because at least they're eating exactly right. There's a phrase, I'm going to probably butcher it, like fed is better than something. I think it rhymes. Like fed is best or something, because it's like, yeah, kids can be picky and like, you know, shaking my head, he doesn't shop at Whole Foods. And it's like, I don't know. Let's just see how we go. Because I'm like, this is just making me sad. Like, I don't feel like, oh yeah, those brats deserve it. It's more just like, oh, you know, despite how fat and chopped he was, people didn't notice he was gone. Yeah, I know, right? Like, what the hell, man? Yeah, maybe fed is better than dead. I mean, that's pretty morbid, but it's true, I think. Wow, he burped out a full-on cheeseburger. That's kind of iconic.
School, Jamie never ate lunch. The headmistress had a rule that every child had to eat 5 portions of fresh fruit and vegetables every day. Not Jamie. Won't you at least try something? All right, I'll try this.
Yuck! It's disgusting!
First of all, good on him for giving it a shot. But like, that was so good. That's a perfect reaction. Wait. I like how automatically he was just like, all right, yeah, I'll give this a shot. Yuck!
Try this.
Yuck! It's disgusting!
Now do you believe I don't like it?
Oh, he was just
The
trolling.
head teacher was so worried about Jamie not eating anything that she relaxed her rules and hired an emergency dinner lady who couldn't cook fresh food for toffee, but could reheat junk.
Why did she need to call an expert?
The next day, Ambrosine started at the school. She arrived in a tanker full of cooking oil. And when she jumped out of the cab, children fled in terror. It was the curly toes and the creepy way she had of licking sugar off a teaspoon.
Why do they always be licking? Okay? And why do they always have tongues that, like, should not be coming out that much? Why? Why?
You must be Jamie,
She said. How did you know?
Overweight children give off a powerful scent when they're ripe for the picking.
Fuck me dead. Just fuck me dead. What? 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 Brother, ew, what? Okay, I'm not even kidding. Like, I feel like gross. Okay. I'm gonna pretend that I didn't just hear that. Oh my gosh, it does remind me of The Witches 2. I used to love that book. In fact, Roald Dahl was my favorite author when I was a kid. I used to love all his books. I even read his autobiography, which was kind of interesting because it was a little bit, I'm pretty sure it was a little bit anti-Semitic, but as a kid I didn't realize what that even was. So, yeah, I'm so sorry to any of our new friends. Like I said, it's not always like this. I apologize profusely. Oh my god, he's gonna get licked or sugar injected into his veins directly.
Are you the woman who's come to cook for me, I mean?
Whoops. Slip of the tongue.
Oh my god.
Was
Oh my god, don't do
Now,
that.
take me to your larder. We must feed you up immediately.
Don't grab
From
kids'
that
tongues.
day on, Jamie grew fatter with every processed school dinner she produced.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that actually looks bussin'. Like, is that like chicken tendies and chips? Like, that legitimately looks like it would slap so hard. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's meant to like make you get put off, but that's either like fish fingers or some shit, or like chicken tendies, and that actually looks good.
These are bacon drummers.
Are they pig's legs?
They were legs once.
From a pig?
Unlikely.
But he still ate seconds. The next day, it was chicken
It's
nuggets,
people!
shaped into feet.
Ew.
Made from the rankest cuts of meat that I wouldn't even feed to a dog. I have extracted all the taste and goodness, then pumped it full of artificial flavorings and preservatives to give it a shelf life longer than radioactive uranium.
Is it chicken?
No, but it would be chicken not to eat it. Enjoy.
Wow. Okay.
The next few weeks, Jamie gorged on fat, salt, grease, sugar, and enough chemicals to raise the dead. It didn't matter what Ambrosine put in his food, Jamie ate everything, so long as it wasn't
Yeah, you know
fresh.
why? Because he's a kid. And kids defer to adults in these types of matters. Why is it his fault that the adults around him are just like giving him shit food? And then they're like, to the kid, hey, you're a fucking idiot. You know, the fact that you're eating the food that we give you, fucking idiot. It's like, what the hell? What? You fucking idiot. Trusting the adults around you? Pfft, chicken. Now eat this, and then we're going to berate you for doing that exact same thing. Little chicken idiot. Sorry. I'm just like, what? This is very different to something that would actually be like, I mean, not that any of this is ever justified, but you know what I mean? Like, give him some kind of quality that is further away from immutability or like dependence, something about a character trait, you know? Like, and yes, it does remind me of the Jamie Oliver thing. When he showed like a classroom of kids or something, how it's actually made with all like the offcuts and the gross bits. And he was like, now do you guys still want to eat it? And yeah, they were all just like, yeah. And he was just like, he didn't plan for that shit. Kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. And look, I still, like, I fucking love nuggets. I'm not gonna lie. Also, how funny is it that there's just a bubble with like the skull and crossbones on it? That can't be good. Yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know. This kid, what, is he supposed to be like a fucking mature 40-year-old and realize, actually, the nutritional benefits of fruit and vegetables are far superior than these pork, whatever she called it, like the bacon boneless nuggets, I don't know. Like, what? It's hard for me to feel antipathy or whatever, you know, the opposite of sympathy for a kid like that. You know, it's like, it makes total sense that he's behaving in this way. And even being a little bratty does not mean it's fine to just like, I don't know, feed him fucking actual human beings. So, yeah. I eat deviled ham and potted meat. What is potted meat? On crackers. No telling what that's made from. Honestly, I know this is not the same, but I love deviled eggs. And that's what that reminded me of. And I love, like, here we call it Spam or Devon. And again, it's just kind of like mystery meat at this point. And I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with it. So I think they should give this kid some slack.
So, when he found a radio receiver in his chocolate pizza, he didn't bat an eyelid. Down it went with everything else. But the junk food was taking its toll. Jamie was not only fat, but now he was spotty as well, and he couldn't concentrate in lessons either, especially when his teeth fell out. And he soon became lazy and forgetful. Hello, I'm, home? No, Jamie. Have you had a nice day? We were going out this morning, but we forgot where we were going, so...
What the hell? This literally makes me so sad. Like, this isn't even scary or fucked up. Like, it is fucked up, but it's just sad. Like, yeah, low-key fatphobic, totally. And if you think about it, like at the start of the episode, so his parents supposedly gave him their tiny peanut-sized brains. And that's kind of low-key ableist too. And if we take it to be what they're implying, that he's like, you know, of lower intelligence than usual, or than the mean, then it's basically like extra insulting, because like those types of people are those that are vulnerable in our community. They need the most help and the least kind of derogatory, like fucking, you know, sentiment and being made fun of and stuff like that. Like, and also despite it all, like, the kid comes home and he, like, the first thing he wants to know is like, did you have a nice day, to his parents? Even though he's forgetting everything else. Like, what the hell? They're making him quite sympathetic as a character. And, like, yeah, what? I just don't really get it.
Just sat here instead. Quite nice. Oh, I'm exhausted. Oh, kids today, no stamina. That night, Jamie was so tired he went to bed early. Phew, it's way past my bedtime. 4 hours later, in a steel-ringed kitchen in the North Atlantic, a radio-controlled transmitter was switched on.
What the fuck?
And Jamie's stomach twitched. Then his legs swung out of bed and he started sleepwalking. Down the stairs, out of the house, and into the street. He didn't wake, not even on the night bus.
Did he
Not
pay
even
the...
when he walked in front of a jumbo jet. Not even when the ferry left without him and he swam 2 miles to the island. Ambrosine's Island, where junk food kids
Oh my god,
were
the island.
junked. When Jamie woke up, he was lying on a chopping board. Oh, I feel like I've been hit over the head.
That'll be the monosodium glutamate.
MSG.
It can leave some children with a bit of a hangover.
Where am I?
On
Oh my
telly.
god, oh my god, he's literally on the island, tied up on a board, about to be filmed for a fucking Red Room.
This is a cookery program for the Witch and Warlock channel.
So quieten down. Add plenty of salt and sugar. There we go.
The way it, like,
Then add your
stays as
stuffing.
particles just on top
This
of the
is 3
picture.
pounds of unrendered fat, bone and gristle.
Now, this child shouldn't need much at all because he's nice and plump already. Tamp it all down, squeeze it in there, and oh! There we go, the fat child explodes. Then all you have to do is scrape him off the wall and mould this gorgeous squidge into any shape that takes your fancy. This is a foot. Cover it in breadcrumbs and deep fry till burnt and inedible. Perfect chicken nuggets, fit for the school dinner table every time.
High Priestess Ambrosine never went back to Jamie's school. She went in search of other children to eat her junk food. So beware of any new dinner lady who suddenly turns up at your school and offers you chicken nuggets. She may not be a lady at all. She may just be a witch shopping for ingredients.
Okay, first of all, this is legit proof of what went on at Epstein's Island. I'm so sorry, guys. That, like, I thought that was going to be fun, and instead it took a very dark turn. A very, very dark turn. Don't judge me, but I like this show. The worst part is I actually like it too. Why did the principal know the lady? Yes, and call her to come to the school. Oh my god, it's a conspiracy. Guys, I think the creators of this show knew something that we didn't. Way back when they were making this, they knew, and they couldn't tell us through any other medium except grisly tales for gruesome kids. And they had to make a whole allegorical children's show. Because otherwise, you know, they'd get fucking suicided. So, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm also sorry because I kind of want to watch another one. There's something about the way that, like, when you you think it's like not going to get any more absurd, it will just like just throw another random thing at you. Like the fact that he had a radio fucking device in his belly and like that controlled him somehow. How does that work? It's like they said he swallowed like a radio device and that compelled him to sleepwalk and swim and shit like that. You'd think that through the course of the swimming, he would have like lost some weight too. But like literally, this was different to the others. It was like kind of, actually, someone wrote something in here that made me fucking crack up. What was it? The moral is fat disabled kids go to hell. Literally, that's what they're trying to say. It's like, what the hell? I can't believe it ended on the island. I know. Okay. Okay. It is like a car crash, and I kind of want to keep looking. So, all right. I think eventually we have to stop, but I'm just having way too much fun. Dirty Birdie. The Lobster Scream. I remember this one, Death by Chocolate. Is that too similar, though, to the one we just saw? One more. Death by Chocolate? Let's do it. Yeah, did they know? I think they did. Scary shit, guys.
You are welcome to Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids. A series of cautionary tales for
flies.
lovers of Squeam.
Hey.
I call this tale Death by Chocolate because there's a whole lot of chocolate in it and a little bit of death too. I thought spiders were supposed to know how to catch flies, Spindleshanks.
Aw. He did the.
Watch and learn.
Ugh.
Watch and learn.
Based on story. Oh, okay.
At the Square Bush Sou'wester Chocolate Factory, new boy Pip Pipkin was greasing the Easter bunny molds for the next batch of liquid chocolate
Yum.
when he heard a buzzing in his left ear.
Oh, that's so fucking annoying when that happens.
Unfortunately, he missed the chocolate fly and knocked the lever that opened the valve on the pipe that carried the chocolate from the blending vat to the molds on the conveyor belt.
Oh, that sounds like a
But
dream
of
come
course,
true.
The molds weren't there. While poor Pip Pipkin
He's getting
was
fired.
trying to stem the tide of spurting chocolate, the cunning chocolate fly laid an egg in an unfilled bunny mold,
Ew!
flying out of the window as buzzlessly as it could. The bunny with the egg inside got given to a girl called Serena Slurp. A great big tub of a girl with mean little eyes. Serena was a chocoholic. She took her chocolate any way she could. Dark, white or milky, in a bar, on a stick, or licked off the back of a stranger's hand. Chocolate milkshakes, chocolate biscuits, chocolate cake, chocolate soup, chocolate chicken, chocolate hot pot, chocolate dog drops, and once
Ew.
by accident, chocolate ants, which weren't quite dead yet. Ah. She had a younger sister called Ellie, a pretty little thing who never said boo to a goose. Serena made poor Ellie's life a misery. I'm going to tell Mummy what you just did.
It was an accident.
The fuck?
She's going to be so angry.
Please don't.
Then steal me a chocolate biscuit.
Yeah, I actually want chocolate right
But
now.
if
Not
Ellie
gonna
was
lie.
caught, Serena would pretend she knew nothing about it. Honestly, you should be ashamed of yourself, Ellie, stealing biscuits from the cupboard when you know Mummy doesn't approve.
What a brat.
Serena was
You
so
knew.
mean that every year she would hoard her Easter bunny until Ellie's chocolate was all gone. Then she'd eat it very, very slowly in front of her sister until she'd made her cry. Every year, that is. But this year, it was the hottest summer since records began. England's chocolate
Global
supplies
warming.
were melting, and the heat attracted plagues of big black flies. The girl's mother came home with a large fly swat to do battle with them. Ellie, who adored the swishing and thwacking, wore it through her trouser belt like a samurai sword and spent her holiday happily hunting. Serena devoted her holiday to rescuing melted chocolate. She scoured skips and cinemas and backs of sofas for the sludgy stuff. She squashed it into the fridge next to her Easter bunny.
Wait. Why does this guy say every single word like it's the most perverted thing that... you know, the most perverted thing in the English dictionary? I don't know why, but just the way that he talks. I literally can't even recreate it. Like, she went out to get as much of this sludgy stuff. And it's like, bro, I need you to enunciate less. Usually it's the other way around. It's the old man dirty talk voice. Exactly. It's like, most people need to enunciate more. This guy needs to enunciate less. Please slur your words more and mumble more. Like, it sounds like he's getting too much pleasure out of every single word that he's saying, and it's just a lot. Okay, let's look at this fucking egg. It's gonna hatch or some shit.
And wrote a warning on the door in magnetic letters. Hands off. Precious chocolate.
My
chilling
precious.
out. Life was sweet until Ellie made a tragic blunder. How was she to know that the fly would have a dizzy spell just before she hit it? Whoops. She tried to cover her tracks by laying out the fly swat on the coffee table. But Serena caught her at it.
I'm going to tell Mummy what you just did. It was an accident.
She's going to be so angry.
Please don't.
All right, Ellie, I won't.
But only if you promise to be my slave. But I'm your sister.
Not anymore. Cackled the cold-hearted
What
girl
the
with a
fuck?
bunny in the fridge.
What the? Okay. Only if you promise to be my slave, but I'm your sister, not anymore. I don't like that. I don't like those sus vibes. And I don't like that face. Every child's worst nightmare, literally. Welcome in, by the way, Noah. I saw you you followed before. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's literally just a fly swatter. You're so right. Not like she broke an unreplaceable precious artifact. Though I will say, I do like how her only, like, way to fix the situation was to just put the two halves together. Like, it would hide the fact that it was broken. Like, oh, we've all been there before. Maybe if I just put it really close together, the next person who picks it up will think they did it. Also, I like how she was like, but I'm your sister. Not anymore. That's fucking scary.
Ellie was miserable for the next week. Her slave girl duties included warming up the loo seat, changing TV channels, and bringing bar after bar of chocolate from the fridge. And when Serena felt ill after a particularly heavy binge...
No, please, no.
Ellie...
No. Sorry, no. I can't. I'm skipping that because you guys know me. I have actual, genuine emetophobia, which is like when I see or hear people puking, it makes me like sympathetically retch, and I'm not going to do that to you guys, so.
All her chocolate! Bring me my
Please.
bunny now! And when it arrived, she stuffed the ears into her mouth and tore them off like a wild dog. That was when Ellie noticed the small, white maggot in the bunny's chewed neck.
I like how he's moving.
Serena, stop. Look, it's a wiggly thing.
Shut up, slave. Can't you see I'm eating?
But there's a maggot in the bunny.
You're just saying that, so I'll give you some. Well, forget it. And with that, Serena bit off more than she could chew. That was how the maggot got inside her. It feasted on the chocolate lake in her stomach and grew, and grew, and grew, and grew until Serena had completely disappeared! When Ellie went into Serena's bedroom a week later, there was a chocolate fly sitting up in bed. Ellie screamed and ran away, but the fly chased her down.
A chocolate fly. A chocolate fly. A chocolate fly that looks like this. Holy fuck, that's hilarious. Holy fuck. I don't know if that's meant to be scary, but that's actually fucking hilarious. A chocolate fly that looks like this. Built like Pepe the Frog. A chocolate Pepe was laying in her bed. Oh my god. The sus fly. Oh my god. A chocolate fly? That looks like that? It's kind of, I don't know. She's kind of bad.
Up in bed. Ellie screamed and ran away, but the fly chased her downstairs.
Get away, or I shall squish you.
Don't be frightened. I'm your sister.
No, you're not. You're an evil fly monster.
I'm Serena. Don't you recognize me? My eyes are bigger than my stomach, remember?
All flies have big eyes.
Wailed Ellie as she panicked and lashed out with the swat. What's going on?
Oh my god, she killed her sister.
Appearing suddenly in the doorway. Ellie?
I think I've just broken the fly swat,
she said. Oh, said her mother. Is that all? I thought it was something serious. So, Spindleshanks, have you learned how to kill a fly?
He's gonna turn into a fly
Let's give
swat.
it a whirl then. I'll pretend to be the fly. Okay.
Ew!
It's
Whoa.
like taking milk from a baby.
god. Bro just dropped his skin and ran away. Fuck me dead. I'm not even kidding. I want to just keep going. The more that I watch, the more that I want to watch. I'm gonna end up as a gruesome kid or whatever the fuck. So scary, I just peed a little. Yeah, me too. Let's just reconvene. Because I know we've just been through a lot together. First of all, a chocolate fly. Alevra, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you don't have nightmares. And chocolate pepe. Only $3.99. Oh my god. Why are all the people that, like, you know, are overweight or like have food addictions or like sugar addictions, they're portrayed as like horrible, intrinsically horrible people? It's like kind of weird. Grizzly tales for gruesome kids. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Oh god, I literally won't ever be able to hear that the same. Oh my god. Okay. Honestly, I don't know, like, if I'm ever gonna stop. I'm just gonna go through the complete series. Bessie or Messy. Oh fuck, guys. Did you read that? Here is Bessie, who has the messiest room in the world. Guys, I think I have the messiest room in the world. Maybe this will convince me to clean my room, okay? I might turn into something unnatural. Like, this is it, guys. This will actually help me clean my room. So, my god. Yeah, a little shaming kept kids skinny. Literally, I think that's actually true. That's what they were going for. Shaming people into not being fat. What the hell? Yeah, I don't think shame helps either, but apparently that was a unpopular opinion. Oh, are we suffering from buffering? Come on, computer, please. Please, computer. Maybe I won't get myself motivation to clean my room. Oh, there we go. Why does this kid keep coming back? Bro, you've been here before, you know what to expect. He's in it for the love of the game.
You are welcome to Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. A series of cautionary tales for lovers of squid.
Different worm.
Excuse the way I'm dressed. Everything's in the wash. Wish I could say the same of Spindleshanks. His website's a disgrace. He's such a pig pen. He don't even know what this is for. Oh, you do you?
Why is he
3
naked?
flies says you don't. Oh, blast. I hate it when I lose. Oh.
Oh, I can feel that. Ugh.
This tale's called Bessie O'Messy.
Maybe this will inspire me to clean my room. Been welcome in. If you know, you know, baby.
When
Fuck,
Bessie
that's literally me.
O'Messy undressed, she dropped her clothes on the floor and forgot all about them.
What the hell?
Her
Parkour.
laundry mountain hadn't been touched for 3 years because when her mother told her to tidy it up, Bessie said, "No, how will I ever find what I want if it's all stuffed in cupboards?" To make matters worse, Bessie's younger brother, Callum, was the model of tidiness.
Literally me and my
He said
brother.
things like,
Can I help with the washing up now, Mammy?
Aw.
And are you sure I can't scrub out the bath?
Bessie loathed Callum for making her look like a slovenly slob.
I hate you, Callum. You're just a goody-goody. Oh, that reminds me. I was hoping to do a bit of dusting after breakfast. Will you let me do your room, Bessie? I could tidy your clothes. That's why I hate you. You're always with a duster in your hand. Do you want to wash that jumper now?
One day, Bessie's mess mountain finally filled her bedroom.
So one of them has
happening
OCD and the other one has like hoarding syndrome. Also, her clothes look genuinely cute.
Bessie has. She's a pig, isn't she, Mammy?
Yes, she is. Bessie, wake up. But Bessie couldn't see a thing through the laundry wall.
You's in big
Me when I'm in the
trouble, Miss
crevasse.
Piggy. What for?
She asked innocently. Bessie, you will clear this room up immediately.
Oh, please. Yes, please. Can I help?
No, it's Bessie's mess. She'll manage on her own.
Will you give us a hand to get down, Callum?
No, he's not allowed to help, remember?
He's crying.
Bessie was furious. It was her life. She could live like a pig if she wanted. But as she tried to go back to bed, the mountain collapsed and Bessie fell.
Oh my god. Trapped forever.
She found herself inside a cotton cave.
That's kind of cool though.
Whoa! Who's you?
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that if I keep my room as messy as it is and actually make it more messy, I will find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men with, shining steeds? This is not the argument against it that you think it is.
Good morning to you, Missy. Where am I? In the lovely land of laundry. Allow me to introduce ourselves. O'Reilly, 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 and Rafferty. But we call him O'Reilly to avoid the confusion. I'm Bessie, said Bessie. And we's leprechauns, said O'Reilly. The little people. Sure you must have heard of us. Sure I have. But what are you doing in me laundry? Well, we'll let you in on a little secret. We likes a bit of mess. In fact, we likes a lot of mess. And when I saw your pile of dirty clothes, I said to O'Reilly here, "That's me." Yeah, that's him, that's right. I said to O'Reilly, we can live inside Bessie O'Messy's pile of linen, making as much mess as we like, and nobody will ever notice. And that's what we done. What was your name again, young man?
Again,
I beg
sounds
your
alright.
pardon. Don't mind him. Leprechauns has memories worse than the...
What the fuck?
Shall we be after going then? Aye. Where to? I forget. But I'm sure to remember when we get there. You've forgotten your horses? Oh, never mind. The
Don't make a
cave
mess of the
opened
Irish
up
will occupy your
onto a
room is fucking funny.
spectacularly messy landscape.
Wait, this is all in her laundry?
At the end of the crooked path stood the leprechaun's ramshackle house.
You've got yourself a beautiful home there, Mr. O'Reilly. You should see our beautiful kitchen. In the house, in the garden. There are bits of it in the bedrooms too, but we lost the sink. Well, I think it's heaven. There's nobody to tell you to clear your mess up. Shall we go inside? Oh, dear. Never liked it anyway. Oh, that is beautiful, boys. This is Bessie Bliss.
That's a good
Laundry is
gag.
Paradise. So will you be after staying a while? Said O'Reilly. Does you really mean that? I could stay here for the rest of my life. Then it's all settled. You's one of us now.
Where's the
Back in Bessie's
turn?
bedroom, Callum came a creeping. Bessie, are you there? Right, now where shall I be starting? I beg your pardon? Did we not make it clear what we brought you here for?
You did not. Did we not tell you we wanted a housekeeper? If yous had, I'd never have come. But
Better
we
than a
shook on
sex
it,
slave.
it's a deal. I don't want to clean your smelly house. To be sure, but we need someone to tidy us up. Not me. I don't do cleaning. Are you saying yous won't do it then? Are yous breaking your word? Did we tell you we was meat eaters? And likes to chew flesh off the bone. We wants a housekeeper. Is it gonna be you, like we agreed, or not?
What?
Yes or no?
Why do their
Bessie
fingers
was
turn into razors?
terrified. No! She screamed, pushing the little people aside and running out of the house.
Strike.
She could hear them running after her. Nobody crosses the O'Reillys had lived. You'll never make it back to your bedroom,
What's on
Bessie.
his chin? Is that an egg?
Bessie reached the linen mountain, but couldn't remember which way to go. Wait till we get our fingers on you. At last, she recognized her jumper and dived into the cave. But the leprechauns were smaller and faster and didn't give up till they pinned her down. Help!
Oh my god.
Suddenly, the land of laundry shuddered. Clothes crashed past Bessie's
my God, she's
ears
gonna be trapped
like
in there.
falling rocks. All you had to do was a little tidying up. Now we can't let you go, Bessie. The big people mustn't know he's here. But I won't tell them. We know that. 'Cause we's gonna cook you.
What the
And they
fuck?
would have done too, had not the land of laundry suddenly turned topsy-turvy.
Wait, her brother's saving her. Or damning her to eternal trappedness. The show is Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, by the way, and it's actually quite scuffed.
Callum only noticed that he'd washed Bessie while he was doing the ironing.
Aw.
She'd shrunk in the wash. And all my colours have run. I must have had the water too hot. Still, I suppose you did save my life. And
Cute.
then your washing is taking me hours, and I haven't even started on the dusting yet. I'll give you a hand. Honest, no messing, said Bessie. And she meant it as well.
That's kind of a... Aw. Kind of a happy ending, I guess. Considering this show.
Boy, that
Even though
cheek
she's a tiny person forever.
Shanks expects me to clear up after him. I suppose I'd better get the iron out.
Holy fuck. That's probably enough for today. A happy ending. We should quit while we're ahead. Oh my god. The moral of the story is, be filthy for long enough, leprechauns will try to kidnap you, and your brother will clean up your mess. Now guys, look at this. I'm nearly there. Like, I'm nearly to that level. So, like, okay, let me see. I just grabbed a handful and the pile has not changed. So, yeah. Stay frosty. So if you guys, if you guys want to help me clean my room like how her brother helped her, every subscription is one piece of clothing put away. I really don't want to get shrunk in the wash. Oh my god. Yes, Cody, you did help. Thank you kindly. And holy shit. Yeah, I don't know, I was expecting more of a traumatizing outcome because now I don't really want to clean my bed. Like, I want to meet 7 Irish men, so... But before I get ahead of myself, let's do our affirmations, and then we can talk about what the hell we just watched. So, oh my goodness gracious. For those of you who may be new, this is something that we do once per stream. It's a little pick-me-up, a little magic spell, in case you need to hear it. And I think we all need to hear it after what we've just been through. So, Here is the script, so to speak. And here is the video where I got it from, which you're welcome to check out. The lovely Amy Walker is the genius behind this little, these little affirmations. So, without further ado, from me to you, well, actually, from Amy Walker to me to you, I'd just like to say, yes, yes, you are. You are ready. You are equipped. You are connected. You are unique. You are gorgeous. You are loved. And my personal favorite, you are alive. So thank you so much for being here, like watching some crazy, grisly shows with me. But more importantly than that, for being here on this earth in general. I know it's not always easy, but it is always, always, always important. And I do believe we can make life good for one another, you know, however many tries that it takes. So, how did you guys feel about that, that little foray into my childhood, into my dark and twisted mind? Because, yeah, holy shit, I don't remember, like, most of those. Just bits and pieces and like the narrator's voice and yeah, I didn't realize how many pedophiles were actually in these stories and how many long licking tongues there were. Enjoyed? Good. I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to believe. And there was a bunch of other shows from back then that were cool and interesting, but this one definitely stood out. It was just so different to everything else around it. And yeah, I don't know. There's also actually something else that you guys may have heard of. It was called Soup Opera. And it was also another one of those like fever dream shows that like I kind of used to get scared of too. Like, I don't know why. It wasn't really, yeah, the vegetable one. It wasn't really overtly scary, but there was something unsettling about it. And I don't know why, but I'll show you guys that in just a second as well. And so, yeah, there was a bunch of weird random shows that were on back then. And like, I don't know, I just kind of took it at face value. The opening was catchy. It's like, super which I didn't realize they were actually saying stuff until recently. They used to make cool things in like stop motion. So I'll just click on a random one. Full screen here. I don't know why it was scary, but you guys tell me what you think. Too loud, too loud, too loud. I think it was French. Why does this actually slap? I don't know why they made this, but I'm just glad that they did. How did they come up with this? They thought, I'm gonna make a fucking mammoth out of grass and a kiwi fruit. They just did it. It's the French, yeah, that explains everything actually. Let's see, what's this? A seal or a walrus? With an igloo! Made out of sugar cubes. Oh, this played on Norwegian Kids TV. That's so cool. Yeah, I think it was probably international. It's just like, okay. Plain sound effects. Sentient animated fruit brings up the deep existential dread which is instinctual in us all. I totally agree. Oh gosh. You might like another show called A Town Called Panic. Oh, is that on YouTube? Oh, a film? Oh, it's actually on here. Maybe if we're allowed, we can watch it in a future stream. Wait a minute. Parts of this look familiar. Weird. Thanks for the rec. I'll actually put it on my list. I think we need a proper React day. Ah, yeah, where we can submit videos. That could be cool. I mean, I trust you guys, but I don't think it can be open to just anyone because holy shit, imagine I get jump scared or I don't know, it's just scary business. But yeah, we could like have some way of vetting them beforehand or having someone else watch them first, like one of my friends or a mod. We'll see. That's very, very funny. I'm not sure how good I am with reacting because I try to just react as like genuinely as possible. And sometimes when it's like fucking weird shit, like what we just saw with Gruesome Tales, then it's like actually good for camera. But if it's anything less than that, I'm typically just like pleasantly like, you know, nodding along, and it's like that's not really that interesting to people. But yeah, I do have a couple mods. I have a friend of mine that stops by sometimes, and if I asked, I think he would be willing to do me a favor. But holy shit, that's so funny. What can I say? I was just thinking about that show. And let's see if Sea Locket had any new videos. There's one of the maid stream that's so funny. I can't watch that back. I just can't. If you guys aren't subscribed to Cherry Clips, you totally should be. I'll show you. This is it, and here's the link. Sea Locket's channel with some of the best moments from our little shenanigans together. And yeah, all the way from when I was back in my old room. So look at that, 1.6k views is crazy work. Emmy hiccups for 24 hours on a deserted island. Emotional. Oh my god, some of these like bring back old memories. That's so funny. Look at all the stuff we've done together, guys. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. The house sitting stream where I put you guys in the cupboard. The house warming stream where I put you guys in like the oven. Put you guys in a bunch of different places, to be honest. And I've been like considering doing a another phone stream soon. It just seems fun. Like I don't have any occasion. I just thought it could be cool, but yeah, it's pretty wild. Cody, you've been here from the very beginning. This is the one I was laughing at from the most recent stream. I think we should try and harmonize.
I don't really know how to do that. I'll try.
Well, why don't you just try singing it and I'll add to you. I think that sounded good.
I'm not sure about that.
Come, sing me a song.
This made me laugh so hard when I first saw it. The way Sea Locket did the editing. It says yes underneath me.
Home is behind the world of earth, and there are many paths to tread through shadow, through the edge of night, until the stars are all aligned. Mist and shadow, Cloud and shade, all shall fade, all shall fade.
Wow, that was beautiful. All shall fade. That's going to be stuck in my head now. And actually, I don't know if I mentioned, I don't think I did. Let's come back here. So not yesterday, but the day before, I went to the hot springs with my mama and my brother and a family friend. And because there's only one major like hot spring near me, I didn't want to give it away beforehand just in case it was unwise to do so. And so now I'm telling you guys after the fact. But it was lots of fun. And it's kind of just like, you know, I wanted to treat my mama. And it was a voucher for Christmas that we hadn't used until now. So we went, and my favorite part was in the Turkish steam bath. And it's really echoey in there, super, super humid, of course, super, super hot. And because it was echoey, I started singing that song, Home is behind, the world ahead. Because it sounded really big and grand and epic, like, you know, how you might expect it to sound in the movie. And so there were other people around, and there was this one girl that was like sitting nearby who like looked at me, and she started laughing like in recognition. And I just thought that was so funny. Like, I don't know, it was just like a rare moment where you just like connect with a stranger. And yeah, I thought she was going to join in, so yeah. I thought we were about to have a love affair, but no, I got too shy. It's the song Edge of Night from Lord of the Rings. To the edge of night, until the stars are all alight, mist and shadow. Just imagine it super echoey and stuff in the steam bath. Cloud and shade. And yeah, it was a good time. And yeah, if everyone had started singing, that would have been the best. But I got kind of shy, and so I like just kept it a bit more quiet and stopped after a second. Like, I made my joke, I'm moving on. But man, that would have been like so ethereal, you know? Also, welcome in. So that was fun. And there was another funny part where I was coming out of the steam bath, and outside there's a bunch of showers just to like wash off the minerals on you and stuff like that, or to just like clean yourself off, whatever you're about to do next. And so what I did was, I was still wearing my robe. And so what I did was turned on the taps to get the shower started. And in the split second that it took for me to like take off my robe and put it like against one of the pegs, like some other random guy, like a stranger, just like zoomed in underneath the shower stream. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, he must have thought they just turned on automatically or something. Like, he wasn't looking, obviously, when I actually turned the taps. But it was just like he stole my shower. And I was just like, okay. And then I just like went next to him and started up that shower. And it was just like kind of funny because literally I was gone for 2 seconds and I turned back around and my shower has just been swooped in by some random guy. And so, yeah. Besides that, I had a wonderful time. I went in the evening session, and so it was beautiful, nice and dark with the stars out, and the hot springs were like super, super hot, like 42 degrees. And in the one main like hot spring pool that we stayed in for the longest time, if you looked up, you could see a possum in the trees above, and it was just like kind of jumping and darting about, and so we're kind of watching it like a TV show, like, oh, that was a big jump and stuff like that. And it was just lots of fun. So I felt very relaxed after. I went into all kinds of saunas and steam rooms, and yeah, I tried the normal sauna, like the traditional Finnish sauna, and then the infrared sauna too. And I also tried the cold plunge, though I didn't stay in there for too long. I was a bit, I lost my nerve. I also tried an ice cave, which is like a very, very cold room that wasn't actually that cold. So I was like hot, cold, sweaty, and finally just exhausted and refreshed. And my skin was really smooth, like as soon as like that whole evening was over. Now it's kind of back to normal, but there's something about like, you know, when you exercise or when you like use a sauna and you just sweat, and all of a sudden it's just like, damn, all your skin feels regenerated. And I was very thirsty and also very hungry by the end of the session, which was interesting because I wasn't doing anything except just like sitting around in a bunch of different places. But I guess something was happening internally because, yeah, I was just so exhausted and spent most of the day after, as in yesterday, just lounging about. So yeah, very cleansing, definitely. And yeah, the skin is the largest organ. And so this camera is quite forgiving, not only because it's so low quality, but also because I'm kind of far away and my skin's behaving right now. But there was a few breakouts, like there was one there, one here, but it looks pretty clear. So I don't know. I've always wanted to have a sauna at home. I think I would use it like every single day if I had one. And also my hair got absolutely mineraled. So this is why it kind of looks like this. Because I did shower there after the fact, but I didn't style it. So this is kind of what it does when it's left to its own devices. It's kind of not quite straight, not quite wavy. some secret third thing. And especially in the middle, I don't know what's happening here. So maybe I need a haircut. We'll see. It's about time, I think. It needs to be maybe a bit lighter around the front here. So, yeah, maybe you'll see me sporting a new look by the next stream. I'll consider it. Because I'm trying to grow out the length, but as it grows out, it starts to lose a bit of shape. And I don't know, it's a bit heavy right now. It's kind of elvish. I don't know. What do you guys think? As for my curl type, well, one time when I went to the hairdresser, like a proper hairdresser, and I asked, and they said it was like 1A, as in the straightest it can possibly be. But I don't think that's true, at least not anymore. Because like when I just leave it to air dry, like you can kind of see a bit of texture. And if I do kind of encourage it, like in the shower, if I do that thing where you like kind of cup your hair and make it like squish it out, it does like have a curl kind of pattern. So the short answer is I'm not sure. But yeah, maybe it has changed over time. Like that's not the strangest thing, I don't think. But yeah, it's temperamental. That's for sure. I like the length, but maybe it could use a tune-up. Right now it's pretty frizzy, even though I did shower and blow dry. So 3B hair. Oh, interesting. Which was similar to yours, but I don't know. Yeah, so I feel like surely it's not 1A. That's like dead pin straight. So I'll see. My fringe definitely needs a trim. It's too long right now and it keeps getting in my face, just like this. And actually I get my hair cut now at home, like either a friend or my brother, because they actually do it good. Like I used to go to the actual hairdresser in the city, which was super expensive. And I used to mainly go because there was a really hot guy there. And no, he was not gay. But then he quit and I was just like, well, guess I'll just, you know, save myself $300 and do it at home. So, yeah, rosemary oil I've heard is good for hair as well. Or there's another kind of oil. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called. Let me look it up. Oil for hair growth. It's meant to be good, but it's kind of controversial. Maybe it is rosemary oil. Yeah, castor oil, it says coconut oil. Interesting, but be careful because like it depends on your own skin like needs as well. Jojoba is good, yeah. I actually could be more diligent about what I put into it because I usually just shampoo and condition and that's it. And sometimes I have like a dry scalp flare up. Right now it's okay, but it was really bad just recently. And so if I if I feel that coming on or if I can see it, I'll try like to like nip it in the bud. And there's a shampoo called Nizoral, which is like a medicated shampoo, which is good, though it's quite strong. Like I wouldn't recommend it unless it's severely needed, because yeah, it will fucking clear your scalp out. And yeah, I also have that spray in that's meant to be good for like filling in the hairline. I don't know like how natural it looks, but I'm still getting used to using it, so not too bad. As for 365 outfits, well, that was a challenge that I set way back when. It was actually like one of these kinds of things. I was like, $365 for an outfit challenge where I have to wear a different outfit on stream for 365 streams. And so far, I think I've only messed up 1.5 times. And the punishment is to eat a Bean Boozled bean. Which sounds like not that bad of a punishment, but it's fucking disgusting. And yeah, the challenge actually was born from the obscene amount of clothes that I have. So I'm trying to actually get some use out of them, for one. And also to cycle through them such that I get a better sense of what I should keep, and what I should donate, and what is just too far gone. So, you look like you've been on a shampoo commercial. That's a very nice thing to say. Thank you kindly. I am quite insecure about my hair, so when you guys say nice stuff like that, it's appreciated. They don't let my ego get too big, you know. There's a very fine line between, you know, being flattered and being becoming insufferable. So that's very funny. But anyway, again, before I just become too much of a diva, it's probably time to raid out. So if you guys have any recs, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just see who's live. But man, I had fucking so much fun today. I had so much fun today, and maybe we should do more like watching videos and stuff. I just want to be able to do it right, you know, because like there's so many reaction, like, I don't know, content creators that they kind of phoned it in, if you know what I mean. Caps, thank you so much for joining us. Like, I feel like we're old friends already. I stream every second day. Unless something comes up, then I usually put it in the Discord. And yeah, usually the same amount of time, roughly 4 hours. So yeah, see who's live. And my God. Remember, the 24-hour stream will be happening sometime soon too. Because, you know, we hit 2,000 followers and I intend to follow through. Not this weekend because I have the party that I was talking about, but I'm pretty sure next weekend is free. So that might be a good time for it. I want to make sure it's on the weekend if I can. Just logistically makes more sense. And hopefully by then I'll have enough things planned for us to do. I'll definitely play some games. Absolutely. It's a good way to pass some time while also having a lot of fun. And so I'll dust off my old Steam library that's been sitting on my computer collecting, you know, collecting dust. And gosh, I'm not really that great of a gamer, but maybe that can also be entertaining in a rage kind of way. So would you lay in your dirty clothes? Well, I should say these are not dirty, by the way. These are literally freshly laundered and, is that the word? Not like, you know, money laundering, clothes laundered, and I only need to put them away. That's literally all I have to do. And so, who knows, maybe I'll actually just, out of sheer boredom, and in the 24-hour stream, I'll just start voluntarily cleaning. That might be interesting, but, oh gosh. And no apologies needed. I can see how that might be, you know, how you might get there, but I'm just too lazy. Lazy. So, we'll watch more Grizzly Tales when we get scared. Honestly, it is a good show despite how fucked up and weird it is. But yeah, watching it as a kid is very, I don't know, it's bold. I wouldn't recommend it unless you want a dark, twisted mind like mine. So, let me find someone to raid into. And yeah, I like this shirt a lot too. It's a beautiful, like, I don't know, caftan-esque looking shirt. And again, probably better like this. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, the sleeves, kind of mystical. It was a gift, so as much as I am trying to cut down my clothes wardrobe thing, it almost seems to be going the other way, so... Anyway, let's see who's live. And, oh yeah, Smooth Operator. There you go, Cody, because I think I missed it before. Smooth Operator. Let's see. Sweet Sal. Oh, Stack Gemma. Jonathan again. Elmza. Oh, Nostalgia. That could be good. Some of these people I'm following and I'm like, I think we only really interacted once ever, and I don't know if they'll remember me, and it's okay if they don't. I just don't want them to feel embarrassed, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Let's say hi to Nostalgia. She is just chatting right now, but I think we'll be playing games in a second. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm always so blessed to keep your company, and I'll see you the day after tomorrow, which would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll try and behave, but that's always a bit tricky. So, oh yeah, oh my gosh, that's our old raid message. Feel free to use it. You don't have to if you don't want to. So yeah, I love you guys. Hugs and kisses, hugs and hisses, and remember, don't be too grisly or gruesome, or you might just turn into a chocolate fly. So, bye now. Bye. I fucking love that show. We actually have to watch more of it.